Welcome to this one short video of circles. In this video, we are going to systematically start with weightage of circles in JEE Mains. Then we'll move towards the actual syllabus changes in JEE from 23 to 24. And then we are going to move towards the mind map of this topic and what exactly it entails at the level of topic and what is there in JEE Mains. Then we move towards the 13 problem types that in which the questions of previous 5 years of JEE can be classified. So without any further delay, let us start with it. So if I talk about the weightage of this topic, there have been 1 to 2 questions depending on the year and depending on the attempt in every JEE paper. So it is considered a decently important topic. If I look into the syllabus comparison, 25 syllabus is yet to be announced, but if I look into 23 syllabus, that you can see that this one part was a major exclusion, that is interaction of the line and circle, in that they have removed the cases of tangent. But now I have seen that in multiple questions the condition of tangency is getting implied. So that much part you can do, but the detailing of that in terms of pair of tangents and different cases of pair of tangents, that can be avoided. If I move further, this is nothing but the mind map. You can see that, and this is a coherent strategy that we are going to follow throughout our discussion of conic sections. We will always start our discussion with taking the discussion with a pure conic. That would mean the elements of that conic and then the equations of that. So we have looked into the equation of this in 4 different aspects. One is the standard equation. Then using that we will translate it and then we will write the general equation. Then we will move into oblique cases, but in circle there is no oblique cases, so we look into other form like parametric form, diameter form, and then some specific elements like intercept of the circle, and then some specific cases of this equation of circle. Then we move towards point, location of the point with respect to the circle, farthest and the shortest distance from the circle, and the location of the point of the shortest and farthest distance. Then we move towards the line, and now you can see that this touch part they have removed, but they have asked questions on condition of tangency. In this cut part, when the line cuts the circle, then you can see that chord will get generated and we will have chord of contact, chord bisected, director circle. These two, you can see that this now cannot be there. This technically cannot be asked. So general chord questions they can ask, chord bisected they can ask. Normal chord can be asked, but it's a very simple area because normal chord is nothing but a line passing through the center of the circle, so it becomes diameter. Pole polar has not been the part of JEE syllabus for long now, so largely we will not find any question from here. Circle-circle interaction remains a very important part, and there have been around 10 questions in previous 5 years paper, and they primarily centered that around the conditions where these interactions will happen. And now all of these areas like radical center, common tangent, angle between two circles, orthogonality, all those things are not getting asked in JEE Mains. Also the family of the circle part is removed. Now before we start with the problem type, there is very important thing that you need to know. When we started this chapter of coordinate geometry in straight lines, I told you that in coordinate geometry there are 3 ways to solve problems. Let us say 4. One would be to write equation and solve. This is nothing but the first method. You can alternatively write equations of the same thing using 2 different methods and compare. Or what you can do, you can use properties to solve problems, or alternatively you can convert the question back to geometry and use geometry to solve problems. So here we will see that this geometrical approach will be very prominent. Needless to say that other approaches we are also going to use, but this geometrical approach will play a pivotal role in solving a lot of questions, and as you will see this discussion, you will see that how am I using this geometrical approach to solve problems. If I look into the idea of equation of circle, what are the things that I need to do in order to solve problems? So you can see that the first equation is nothing but the standard equation, we should know this. Equation of a circle where the center is at x1, y1, we should know this as well. Then equation of the general equation of the circle. So this equation has its center at minus g, f, and the radius is root of g square plus f square minus c. Then the circle in diametric form, this we should also know. Parametric equation of a circle when the center is origin. Parametric equation of a circle when the center is at x1, y1. there are these 5 results that, if you know, largely helps. So if a center passes through origin, the constant term will not be there. If it touches the x-axis, we have this second equation. If it touches the y-axis, we have this third equation. If it touches both the axes, we have these 4 cases corresponding to that. And if there is a concentric circle, this part of the equation remains same, only the constant part changes. Now the first kind of question is nothing but the questions based on equation of circle and quadratic equation. In this equation, these questions, we are going to utilize the relation between sum of roots and product of roots. Now there has been 2 instances, similar kind of question has been asked. Question says that the seesaw of the 2 coordinates P and Q on a circle be given by these 2 equations. PQ is the diameter of the circle. See, if PQ is diameter of the circle, let us consider the point as x1, y1 and x2, y2. So now if I want to write the equation of the circle from here, it would be nothing but x minus x1 into x minus x2 plus y minus y1 into y minus y2 equal to 0. And if I simplify this, it comes out to be x square minus x1 plus x2 x plus x1 x2 and then plus y1 square minus y1 plus y2 y plus y1 y2. You can see that in order to write the equation, you will require x1 plus x2, x1 x2, y1 plus y2, y1 y2. And for that they have given this, that the roots of the equation x square minus 4x minus 6 equal to 0 are nothing but the axes of the 2 points. So this has roots as x1, x2. So from here we can write the value of product of roots. x1 plus x2 will become 4 and x1 into x2 will become minus 6. Similarly, from the next equation, we can get the relation between y coordinates. And if you do it so, y1 plus y2 will become minus 2 and y1, y2 will become minus 7. Let us substitute all of this in the first equation that was given to us. So if I write that equation, it comes out to be nothing but x square and minus will become plus. So this will become minus 4x and x1, x2 was nothing but minus 6. Then y square minus y1 plus y2, that will become plus 2. And y1, y2, that becomes minus 7. So if I write it systematically, becomes x square plus y square minus 4x plus 2y minus 13 is equal to 0. Now if you compare with the original equation, it is given as x square plus 2x plus 2by plus c. So 2a will be equal to minus 4. Hence a comes out to be minus 2. 2b is equal to 2. Hence b comes out to be 1. C is nothing but minus 13. Now what they are asking is a plus b minus c. So a plus b minus c will happen to be minus 2 plus 1 plus 13. So a plus b, so this will become nothing but 14 minus 2, that will become 12. If I check the A option matches. Moving forward, you can see that this is the same type of question again asked in 2022, so nothing new, similar kind of question, slightly improved. Type 2 category problem are nothing but equation of circle and image based questions. Now this will talk about image of circle in a line or image of center in the line. So these kind of questions are there. Question says that you have been given a circle, let its mirror image be in the line, be another circle. Then R be the radius of the circle C2. They want us to tell the value of alpha plus R. So you can see that what is happening is they have given the line y is equal to, so let me make a simpler diagram. So this is what is happening, let us say. So what will happen is, and there might be some more simplified scenario, I am not going into that. So what I am trying to tell you is the center of the first circle is nothing but 2, 1. And the center of the next circle, if I divide by 5, and I will have to divide by 5, will become minus 2fx. So this will become f comma and minus 2gy. So this will become g. This is what it is. Now another circle, let r be the radius of circle. So if the value of this radius is nothing but r, this is r, so this will also become r. If I want to get the center of this circle, I will have to find the image of this point in the line. The equation of the line is given as y is equal to 2x plus 1. So let us find the image. So we have for image, we have this formula, x minus x1 by a, y minus y1 by b is equal to minus times a x1 plus b y1 plus c by a square plus b square. We have used this formula quite a time in a chapter straight lines. If I do, so it will become x minus 2 by 2 will be equal to y minus 1. So before doing this, we can write this as 2x minus y plus 1 equal to 0 for simplicity. Minus 1 and minus 2 times. Substitute this value of 2 comma 1 in this equation. So this will become 4 minus 1 plus 1 divided by a square plus b square, that becomes 5. Once you have this, let us simplify. So this last part that we have written, this will get cancelled out, will become minus 8 by 5. Now in the third step, what we have is nothing but x minus 2 by 2 will be equal to minus 8 by 5. If I simplify, then I get the value of x for the center of the circle for the reflected circle. So it becomes nothing but minus 16 by 5 plus 2. So this becomes minus 6 by 5. Similarly, y minus 1 by minus 1 will also be equal to minus 8 by 5. So y comes out to be 1 plus 8 by 5. So this becomes 13 by 5. It would be nothing but 36 by 5. So the radius of the circle would be nothing but, from here I can clearly see that it will become 36 by 25. This will become 169 by 25 and minus 36 by 5. You can see that this cancels out. It comes out to be nothing but 13 by 5. Now we have got the value of r. Now let us take this into the first question. In the fifth part, you can see that now we have already got the value of r, so this part is sorted. We need to get the value of alpha, so this will also have the same radius. So let us write the condition of radius for this. So it will be root of g square plus f square minus c. So the g and f are nothing but, this will become 2 square plus 1 square minus 5 minus alpha. And this is nothing but 13 by 5. We can solve and get the value of alpha as well. So you have got r, you have got alpha. Substitute the value here and get the final answer. So this is the technique of solving all image based question. When you take the image of a circle on a line, the center will get reflected and the radius will remain same. Using similar technique, you can see that this 2022 question has also been framed. So exactly same question, different value. Now if I look into this 2023 question has multiple parts. It says that the point of intersection of this line and this circle that is given to us, that are A and B. So this is the first part of the question, where they are clearly saying that you have been given a circle x square plus y square minus 2x. So this circle will have its center at 1, 0. Also the radius is 1. So if I draw the circle, this is how it will look like. Now what they are saying is, the given line is intersecting this at alpha, 0 and 1, beta. So see, if I look into a point 1, beta, it will be just above this point because the x coordinate matches. So this is nothing but my point B. This is what is given to. And why am I saying these are the points? Because if you plot this line, it is going to pass through origin. So ultimately, if you want to rewrite these points, and a point, since it passes through origin and is the origin, this becomes nothing but 0, 0. So this is 1 point. And if I put 1 in this circle, and you can see that since 1 is the radius, so geometrically you can observe that this y coordinate will also become 1. So this point that they are writing here will become nothing but 1, 1. This is what the question is saying. Now once you have got this, you can satisfy the 1, 1 point and see it actually satisfies. So you have got your A and B point. Now in the second part what they are saying is the image of the circle with AB as diameter. So now comes the second part where we forgot this question. Let us move towards another question which says that AB is the diameter and you draw the circle using AB as diameter. So this is a new circle unlike the older circle where 0, 0 and 1, 1. So now if I take it to the reflection part, now what is happening? There is a line x plus y plus 2. So you can see that this will be shifted on the right hand side. So this is somewhat like this. And now we are taking reflection of this circle that goes like this over it. So it will be somewhere here, and in order to find that, we'll borrow the radius from here. That is how we do image based questions, and we will take the reflection of the center. If I do these two things, I will be able to get the answer. So first let us find the image of the center. So center here is nothing but 1/2, 1/2. The equation of this line that is given to me is nothing but x plus y plus 2 is equal to 0. So if I want to find this point x comma y here, I can do using this image formula. So x minus x1, that in that case becomes nothing but 1/2 by a, that becomes 1, y minus 1/2 by 1, this will be equal to, and since we want to find the image, so minus 2 times, we'll put this point here. So 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 2 divided by a square plus b square. This is what we are going to get. And if I simplify this, the right hand side will first become, this will become 1, this will become 3. So what we have is nothing but minus 3. If I equate this first part, you can see as a result x minus 1/2 will be equal to minus 3. Same will happen for y also, so x and y coordinate would be same. So if I do so, what is going to happen? This is going to become minus 2.5 or 5/2. So this point becomes nothing but minus 5/2, comma minus 5/2. Now let us look into the options, because what we'll have to do is basically just look into the center. So if you look into the center for the A part, it is nothing but minus 5/2, comma minus 5/2, and rest of the options do not match. So this becomes the answer to this question. So you can see that we do not even have to find the radius. Just finding the reflection of the center has solved the problem. Now this question says that the image of this point in this line lies on the circle. Now this is very simple question. I think using that image formula you can directly do this question. You need to just follow these 3 or 4 steps. First is you will find the image using this formula x minus x1 by a is equal to y minus y1 by b is equal to minus 2 times ax1 plus by1 plus c by a square plus b square. Once you have figured out the image, it is saying that it lies on this. So in the second part we will satisfy in equation of circle and get the value of r. In these 2 steps you can easily solve this question. There is nothing very complicated in this question. Moving forward, there is type 3 question. Question says that the equation of circle and line. So here a line and circle will interact. Now let us see what will happen if line and circle interact. Now this 2022 question talks about a scenario wherein a circle is given, the equation of the circle is given to us, and the center of the circle is given as C. What they are saying, if there is a point P in such a manner that if I draw a line through C, let us take this line, it makes an angle pi/4 with it. So this point will become Q and R where the line intersects the circle. What they are asking is nothing but the area of triangle PQR. This is the question, and here you will see that how instead of solving equations we are going to use geometry to solve it. So what can I do now is nothing but drop a perpendicular from P to here, and let us say that PQR is T, this point is T, this angle is 90 degree. So see, if you want to find the area of triangle PQR would be nothing but half of base, that is nothing but QR, into height, that is PT. If I do this, you can see that I will want QR, but QR is very simple, it is nothing but diameter. So let us write 2R here. And now PT. Now for finding PT, there comes the next part. You will have to go inside this right angle triangle. So this is C, this is P, and this is T. So this is nothing but R, this angle is pi by 4. So we can apply simple trigonometry and write this is nothing but R by root 2, and this also will become R by root 2. You can use sine of angle C in order to get this value. So once you have got PT as R by root 2, we can substitute here, and now you can see that this will cancel out, and the answer that we are getting is R square by root 2. This is what we are getting. Now only thing is we need to get the value of R, substitute here and get the answer, and for that there is next step. We have given the equation of the circle to find the value of R. So R will become nothing but root of G square plus F square. So G square will become 1 by 2 ka whole square. F square will become 1 square, and you will have plus 11 by 4 from that equation. If you do this, you have got the value of R. This will become nothing but 2. And if you substitute here, the answer becomes nothing but 4 by root 2 or 2 root 2. Now let us check the options. So if you look into the options, you can see that the option B comes out to be the right answer. So using geometry to solve a problem. Moving forward, there is this 2024 question says, let C be a circle with radius root 10 and center at the origin. Now let us draw this. The center of the circle is at origin and the radius is nothing but root 10. Keep writing information. Let the line x plus y is equal to 2 intersects the circle C at the points P and Q. You can see that if I complete the axis, this is how the axes are going to pass. And this point is going to be plus root 10 plus root 10. So you can see that root 10 is 3 point something. So if I am drawing x plus y is equal to 2, this line is going to intersect somewhere here. So what they're saying is, you have got the points P and Q accordingly. Now MN be the chord of the circle C of length 2 units. Now they have given us a chord of 2 units with slope is equal to -1. So what they are saying is, you have got a chord. Now you can see that this line is also having the slope as -1. The chord is also having the slope as -1. So these are parallel lines. So now I have two scenarios. My chord can be either here for 2 units or it can be either here with 2 units. Now having got that information, let us move ahead. So then the distance between the parallel lines, this is what they are asking, between the chord PQ and nothing but MN. So MN can be here also. So let us write this as M1 N1 and this is nothing but M2 N2. Got it. So now you can see that if one straight line, so now in order to solve this question, the logical flow would be like this. The first thing that we need to know is nothing but the equation of this lines M1 N1 and M2 N2. Second thing that I need to write is nothing but then the distance between parallel lines. So for distance between parallel lines, you have got this formula. It is nothing but C1 minus C2 ka mod divided by root of A square plus B square. We can use this idea to get the answer. So all boils down to finding the equation of the line. Now these are since parallel lines, let us implement this idea. So parallel lines can be written as x plus y plus, let us write the first one as C1 equal to 0. Now in order to get the value of C1, you can see that, let us consider this scenario and from here we'll get both the answers. If I want to find this distance from the center, they have given that the length of this chord is 2. So the half of this will become 1 unit. This is 1 unit, and if I connect this point, you can see that what I am getting is a right angle triangle. Where if I put this point center as origin, so O N1 will be equal to radius. So let us draw this triangle in the second part. So in the second part, if I draw this triangle, you can see the base is equal to 1. This is D or direct distance from the center, and this is equal to radius. Radius was nothing but root 10. Once you have got this information, I can apply Pythagoras theorem, and applying Pythagoras theorem is one of the central, the keystone ideas in this chapter to solve problems. So if I apply Pythagoras theorem, D square plus 1 square will be equal to 10. You can see that the value of D comes out to be 3. Once the value of D is 3, now using this idea, we will find the equation. So let us find the perpendicular distance from center. So the formula is AX1 plus BY1 plus C ka mod divided by A square plus B square. Let us apply this formula to get the value of C. So C came out to be 3. From here if I solve, you can see that it will become 0 plus C 1 का mod divide by a square plus b square. So this will become nothing but 1 square plus 1 square ka root becomes root 2. So you can see that you have got two values of C1 from here, plus minus 3 root 2. Since you have got the value of C1 now, है ना? In fact, so C2 you already had, है ना? That is nothing but from the equation you can see that it is equal to minus 2. So you can find the difference and get the answer. So not a very difficult. Once you have got it, you can check the options and get to the answer. Now in this 2024 question says that a variable line passes through the center of a circle. So let us first write. So if I draw this variable line, and you can see that the circle is designed in such a manner that it passes through origin. This is how special results of circles are used. If I want to write the center of the circle that is of importance to us, this will become nothing but 8, 2 minus g, minus f. And now the question flips. Now what they are talking about is a circle line passing through this center. It cuts the axis as nothing but B, A and B. So A is nothing but the point on the x-axis and B is nothing but the point on the y-axis. Now what they want us to tell is the minimum value. This is the second part of the question. Minimum value of OA plus OB. If I solve this question, I can take the slope of this line as nothing but m. Once I have done that, I can write the equation of the line as nothing but y minus 2 by x minus 8 is equal to m. And once I do so, the value of y minus 2 comes out to be nothing but mx minus 8m. So if I want to get the value of a, I will have to put y equal to 0 in this. So if I put y is equal to 0, let us see what do we get. The value of x comes out to be nothing but 8 minus 2 by m. And if I do the same thing for nothing but b point, x will be equal to 0, and correspondingly if I put x equal to 0, the value of y comes out to be nothing but 2 minus 8m. Now the question says that you have to minimize this function. So if I write this down, OA will be equal to 8 minus 2m, 2 by m. And now what you have is OB, that is nothing but 2 minus 8m. Now question explicitly says that cuts the coordinate axis at positive a and b. So you can see that if line goes like this, the value of m will be smaller than 0. So this is a well expected thing in the question. They have already mentioned it. Once you solve it further, now what you have got is nothing but a function in x, function in m. We want the minimum value of this function, so you can differentiate this function. If I do differentiation, what I am going to get is nothing but 2 by m square minus 8 is equal to 0. So if I find the value of m square, it is going to be nothing but 1 by 4. So from here there are two values of m, plus minus 1 by 2. So we are going to take the negative value because it is given in the question. Once you have got this value, you can find the value of this function. So if I find the value of function at nothing but minus 1 by 2, let us see what do we get. We have 8. If I put minus 1 by 2, this will become 4. Then you have 2. And if I put minus 1 by 2, this becomes also 4. So if you add these things up, what we have is nothing but 10 plus 8, that is nothing but 18, option D. Now let us look into this extremely simple 2024 question. Question says that there is a circle. The alpha comma beta is nothing but the center of this circle, and the radius is equal to nothing but root of 15. Now it is touching a line x plus y is equal to 0 at a point P. Other things are also given, but when we solve, those things will not be required. They want us to give the value of alpha plus beta whole square. See, now only thing is, if it is tangent from here, this distance will be equal to radius. So I told you that questions were asked on tangent just based on the basic condition of tangency. So if I just apply this, I am going to get my answer. So if I apply the perpendicular distance formula, it will be alpha plus beta ka mod divided by root 2. And now they are saying that this should be equal to radius, that is nothing but root 50. So you equate it. If you equate, the value of alpha plus beta ka mod comes out to be nothing but 2 into 5. After simplification, that is 10. So alpha plus beta ka whole square will become nothing but 100. That is nothing but answer to this question. Now the next kind of question that we are going to deal with is the location of a point with respect to a circle, where we will talk about maximum minimum distance of a point with respect to a circle. Now if I look into this 2020 question says that PQ is the diameter of this circle. The equation of the circle is given in standard form, x square plus y square is equal to 9. So the radius of the circle is equal to 3, the center is at origin. These are the two informations that we know. Now there is a line x plus y is equal to 2. So if I draw this line is going to go like this. Because this point is 0, 3, it will cut this at nothing but 0, 2, 2. Obviously it will go. Now what they're saying is this line is nothing but x plus y is equal to 2. Now what they're saying is PQ be a diameter of this circle and alpha and beta are the lengths of the perpendicular from P and Q. So if I take a general line that goes like this, let us say, and this is the diameter, then what you can observe is this perpendicular distance will become alpha and this perpendicular distance will become beta. Now you can see that when you are doing this, the maximum value that any one of this can achieve is when this becomes perpendicular to the line. So idea here is to identify that the maximum value is going to occur when this becomes perpendicular to the line. If it becomes perpendicular to the line, you can see that since this angle at this position, this angle will become pi by 4. Why? Because this angle is pi by 4. And the slope of this line is 135 degree. And so this angle will become pi by 4. So corresponding to this situation, when this scenario happens, maximum distance will occur, and at that point this P and Q will take following values. So this will become 3 cos pi by 4. So we are using parametric coordinate, and 3 sin pi by 4. So you can see that this point comes out to be 3 by root 2, comma 3 by root 2. Correspondingly, if I find this Q point, it is diagonally opposite to come out to be minus root 3 by 2, minus 3 by root 2. So if I want to find alpha and beta, alpha is the distance from the point P. We can write this as nothing but applying distance formula. It will become nothing but minus plus 3 by root 2 plus 3 by root 2 minus 2 mod of this value divided by root 2. You can see that this comes out to be nothing but 6 by root 2, so that is nothing but 3 root 2 minus 2 ka mod by root 2. So if I simplify again, this becomes 3 minus root 2. Similarly, if I find the value of beta at this point, it will come out to be nothing but mod of minus 3 by root 2 minus 3 by root 2 minus 2 ka mod by root 2. And if you simplify, this will come out to be 3 plus root 2. If you multiply alpha and beta here, you can see that it will become nothing but 3 square minus root 2 ka square. So 3 square becomes 9, root 2 ka square becomes 2, subtraction becomes 7. You can see that again this understanding of symmetry has made us solve this question extremely fast. If I move towards this 2021 question says that A is given as 1, 4, B is given as 1, minus 5, B 2 points, and P be a point on this circle in such a manner that PA square plus BB square has maximum value. Then the point PAB, where do they lie? Now this is again a geometry based question that I can just do by drawing the diagram. I do not even need to solve it. What they say, A and B be 2 points. So let us draw this diagram. First let us draw the circle. So what is happening is the center of the circle is at 1, 1, the radius is also 1. So if I take this point as 1, 1, and if I draw a circle, you can see that this circle is going to touch both the axes. Because this distance is also 1, this distance is also 1, and the radius is 1. So it turns out to be equal. Now corresponding to this, if I figure out this point that is vertically above and below, so I will have to go 1 unit upwards. This is 1, 1, so this will become 1, 2. And I will again have to go, you can see that 1 unit downwards, so this point will become 1, 0. Now what they are saying is, if I take a point on the same line, they are saying 1, 4 and 1, minus 5. So if I take 1, minus 5, that will be below here. And if I take a point 1, 4, it will be vertically above here. Now you can see that any point of time, if I am taking a point on the circle, what is happening? This will become one of the values. So this is A, so this will become PA and this will become PB. So you can see that the maximum values, this will become a triangle. Maximum values will happen when they lie in the straight line. So what is going to happen is all of them need to lie on this straight line. So you can see that it is triangle inequality kind of a condition. Only at this condition they will get the maximum value. So this is the point where the maxima will occur in this situation. You can see that all of them need to lie in the same line. Hence option 2, a straight line, becomes a correct answer. Now in this type 5 questions, we are going to see questions of circles that relate with nothing but a triangle. this angle will be half of the usual value, that is 60 degree, so half of that will become 30 degree. This is nothing but the radius of the circle r. The bottom part would be nothing but the half of this value, that is the value of side. So now let us draw this red triangle in isolation. So if I draw this red triangle, this angle is 30 degree, this is r, and this is nothing but, if I apply cos of 30 degree, this will be equal to nothing but a by 2r. So from here I can get the value of r. So this is nothing but root 3 by 2. A was nothing but 6 root 3. This is what it is. Now you can see that this root 3 will get cancelled out. This 2 will also cancel out. R will become 6. So this is what we can get through geometry. Now there is a last part of the question where we need to connect this to C. And for doing that, all we need to write the radius, value of the radius from the circle. So you can see that 6 is the radius, and from the equation of the circle it is g square plus f square. So 25 plus 6 square minus c. So if you square it up, you can see that the value of c will come equal to 25. Now let us check the option. This is nothing but option D. Moving forward, this 2022 question says that in a triangle ABC inscribed in this circle. So again, it is a similar kind of scenario. We are talking about a triangle ABC inscribed in the circle. But in this scenario, what they have given is the angle BAC. BAC, this angle is nothing but 90 degree. Then the length of AB corresponding to this is given as nothing but root 2. Then the area of the triangle ABC is equal to, you can see that if this is root 2 and this is a right angle triangle, then what can happen? If I draw a better diagram, the diagram is going to look like this. This angle is 90 degree, so your BC will become nothing but the diameter. Because angle in semicircle is 90 degree, we are using the property. So this is using property, we are doing it. So this becomes your A. Now they have given the value of this is root 2. So now you can see that this will become radius. So let us find the value of diameter from here. Radius from here, that will give us the diameter. So it will be g square plus f square minus c. You can see that 2g is given as root 2. So g will become 1 by root 2. So it will become 1 by root 2 ka whole square plus 1 by root 2 ka whole square. Root of this is nothing but the value of radius, minus f, and that is nothing, minus c, that is nothing but 0. So answer becomes nothing but 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, that becomes nothing but 1. So r comes out to be 1. You can see that this will become nothing but 2 units. And now if I apply Pythagoras theorem in the right angle triangle, I will be able to find the other side. Let us see that this is nothing but b. If I want to find b, I will apply Pythagoras theorem. So root 2 whole square plus b square will be equal to 2 square. So this was my first step to observe. This is my second step where I figured out the radius. And in the third, I am applying the Pythagoras theorem. So this becomes 2 plus b square is equal to 4. So your b square comes out to be 2. That will imply b comes out to be root 2. So you can see that this also comes out to be root 2. So now you know in a right angle triangle the height and base, that is both root 2. So if I want to find the area of the triangle, it is going to become half of base into height. So area is very simple now. Half of base root 2 into root 2. It will cancel out and become 1, and that is nothing but option A. In this 2022 question says that if a triangle ABC is equilateral triangle with vertices like this. So let us first focus on the equilateral triangle part. This is A, this is B, and this is C. If a triangle is equilateral triangle, that would mean centroid, orthocenter, incenter all will become coincident. So again I am using a property that your centroid, whatever is given in the question, will be equal to orthocenter also. Now you read the question. Question says that this has such that its orthocenter lies on another circle. So first important point to notice here is nothing but, first we need to find orthocenter, that is nothing but centroid. So let us focus on this part. Now A, B, C are given. If I want to write this orthocenter, so the x coordinate will be nothing but sum of the x coordinate. So sin theta cos theta plus A. So sin t plus cos t plus A by 3. If I want to find y, it is going to be nothing but. And now they are talking about the locus of this. So now instead of writing x, y, it would be better if I write h and k. So k will become nothing but cos t minus cos t plus sin t plus b by 3. This is what is happening. So if you want to find the locus, because then the next part will focus on the locus such that the orthocenter lies on the circle. So now second part will come from there. So if I want to find this locus, you can see that for finding locus, we can write this is nothing but 3h. In fact, we can write this as nothing but 3h minus a. This will be equal to sin t plus cos t, and then 3k minus b. This will be equal to nothing but sin t minus cos t. Now if I square both of them and add, what is going to happen? You are going to observe that this will become 3h minus a whole square plus 3k minus b whole square. And if I square and add, you can see that the first part will become sin square t plus cos square t plus 2 sin t cos t. And the second part will become sin square t plus cos square t minus 2 sin t cos t. This part will get cancelled out. Sin square, cos square will add and make 1. So this part will become 2. Now let us open. So if I open it up, what am I going to get? Is nothing but I will replace h by x and k by y. So now this will become h minus a by 3 whole square plus y minus b by 3. I have taken 3 common also, will be equal to 2 by 9. You can see that you are getting an equation of the circle. Now let us move forward. What they are saying is the center of this locus is 1 by 1 comma 1 by 3. So if I come back, check the center of this locus, the a by 3 is given as 1 and b by 3 is given as 1 by 3. So from here you can get the value of a becomes 3, b comes out to be 1. Once you have got both of these value, you can find the value of a square minus b square. So if I square and add to 9 minus 1, 9 minus 1 will become 8. That is nothing but b option. That will become our answer. If I go to this 2024 question says that 4 distinct points lie on a circle for k is equal to. Now let us draw a very simple. Simply plot these 3 points at least. 1, 0, 0, 1. You can see that this point 0, 0 is origin. 1, 0 is somewhere here. And 0, 1 is somewhere here. So you can see that it is forming a right angle triangle, or not just any right angle triangle, a right angle triangle which is isosceles. If I draw the circle, you see that this will become nothing but the diameter. So this part becomes diameter. This is important. Now why is this important? Because you can get this equation of this circle very easily. We know the center of the circle, we know the radius of the circle. So idea would be to first write equation of this circle. That if you write will come out to be nothing but center will become 1 by 2 comma 1 by 2. So x minus 1 by 2 whole square, y minus 1 by 2 whole square, and the center of this line. And if you look into the diameter is nothing but root 2. So radius becomes nothing but root 2 by 2, that is nothing but 1 by root 2 whole square. So this is nothing. In the second step, we will satisfy this point 2k comma 3k in this and get our final answer. So if I put 2k minus 1 by 2 whole square plus 3k minus 1 by 2 whole square, this will be equal to 1 by 2. Simplify this and get the value of k. The next problem type that we are going to look into is equation of the circle and a quadrilateral. Now in this 2021 question says that there are 4 circles given to you. Read the equation of these 4 circles. Interesting point is, if the center of the circle M1 is joined with the center of the circle N, we are joining centers of all the circles fundamentally. What they are saying is the quadrilateral generated from this line and what will be the nature of that quadrilateral. So let us first observe what is the center of this first circle. It is 0, 0. If I look into the center of another circle, it is nothing but 1, 0. For the next one, if you look, it is nothing but 1, 1. And for the next one, if you look into it, it is nothing but 0, 1. So if I plot simply on a graph paper, it is going to be 0, 0. This is the first center. Then 1, 0. Then 1, 1. And then 0, 1. So if you just observe these 4 points, you can see that this is going to be a square. You do not even need to do something to observe it. So answer becomes option B, that is a square. Now let us look into this 2019 question. Question says that a square is inscribed inside this circle. So let us draw the square. So this is how the square looks like. The center of this circle they have given us is nothing but 3, -4. That would mean this point lies in 4th quadrant. Now what they're saying is basically the sides of the square are parallel to the coordinate axis. We already drew that. The distance of the vertex of this square which is nearest to the origin. So now you understand this. If I use basic geometry here, this distance would be equal to radius. The radius of this circle, if I figure out, it is root of g square. So 3 square plus 4 square minus c. This comes out to be root of 128. That is nothing but 64 into 2. So this will become nothing but 8 root 2. If I look into this distance, you should understand that if I draw this diagram, this is nothing but 8 by root 2. 8 root 2. This angle is 45 degree. This angle is 45 degree. So you can see that this will become 8 and this will also become 8. What does this mean? This means that from this point, if I want to reach here on this vertex, I will have to go 8 in this direction and 8 in up direction. So if I go 8 in backward direction, I will have to subtract 8 from this coordinate. So if I subtract 8 from 3, this will become -5. And if I add 8 to this, I will move 4 units upwards. So this will become 8 units upwards. So this will become -5, 4. Now based on the diagram, if you draw a little bit more, you will understand that this is where this point would be nearest to the origin. Because your axes are going something like this. So this point is going to be the nearest to the origin. So if you apply distance formula, the distance from the origin is going to be root of 25 plus 16. That comes out to be root 40. See, if you do not understand why this is going to be nearest, you can also find this point. So this point would be nothing but, again you will have to go 8 units backwards. So x coordinate would be same, but the y coordinate will change because now we'll have to go 8 units downwards. And if I go from 8 units to this will become -12. Now here you will have to go 8 units forward, so 3 plus 8 will become 11. The y coordinate will remain same. This will, you will have to borrow your x coordinate from here, y coordinate from here. Using this, you can again apply distance formula. Just observe, see if I square and add these two values, will it be greater than or smaller than? You will clearly understand that this first point is going to be the nearest one. Now let us look into this 2019 question. Very interesting question. Question says that a rectangle is inscribed in the circle with diameter lying along this line. If you carefully observe the coordinates that are given to us, you can see that the y coordinates are same, and it could be otherwise also. In fact, there is a question in the coming years in which these are different, but in this you will get a special advantage because of that. So they are talking about a circle and they have given two vertices. This is -8, 5. Another one would be 6, 5, like this. So you can see that they lie in a straight line with slope 0 because their y coordinates are same. Now they are talking about another line, that is the equation of diameter that passes through the center of the circle, and the equation of this is given as nothing but 3y is equal to x plus 7. Now with this information, what they want is area of the rectangle. So let us completely draw the rectangle, complete the rectangle. So this is how the rectangle looks like. So one side, if I want to find the area now, it will be nothing the multiplication of two adjacent sides. So this side length we already know is 14. So this we already know. If you can find the length of this triangle, this another side, I will get my answer. Now for doing that, probably we will require this coordinate. So x coordinate we already know, it is going to be -8. It is the y coordinate that we don't know. If I can figure out this y coordinate of this point, the work is done and it is sorted. In order to do that, now let us apply another idea. So you can see that if I take midpoint of this, that midpoint is going to be nothing but -8 plus 6, that will become -2 by 2, so this will become -1, 5. And if I draw a line perpendicular to this line, it will pass through the center. Now you can see that if I draw this line, the equation of this line is going to be x equal to -1. So we'll find the point of intersection of this line and the diameter to get the center. So if I substitute this in this equation, 3y is equal to x plus 7, if I put there, so what is going to happen? 3y will be equal to -1 plus 7, y comes out to be 2. So you have got the x and y coordinate of this point, it comes out to be -1, 2. Once you have got this, another thing that we know is that if I join this diagonal and if it passes through the center, this is going to be the midpoint. So now if I want to find the y coordinate, what I can do is, like, I can assume this is y, and y plus 5 by 2, we know the y coordinate of the center is equal to 2. So if you do this, it becomes 4 minus 5 will become -1. You have got the y coordinate as -1. So you can see that this is 5, this came out to be -1. The difference between them is nothing but 6, so L becomes 6. So the answer becomes nothing but 14 into 6, that is nothing but 84. It comes out to be option B. If we look into this 2022 question, it is the exact replica of the same question, slightly more complicated in terms of calculation, but let us write it down. So again, now in this case, they have given the same things, but instead of simplifying it, they have made it little bit tougher on us by giving one point as 1,2, another point is 3,6, and then they have given the equation of the diameter also as nothing but something like this, as nothing but y is equal to 2x plus 4. But we are going to follow the same strategy. We'll have to do little bit more calculation. So we are going to find the midpoint. That will come out to be nothing but 3 plus 1, that will be equal to 2, and 6 plus 2, that is going to become 4. And write an equation that is perpendicular. So you have got a point. We can find the slope of this line by using m1 m2 equal to -1. Get this point of intersection. Once you have got the point of intersection, we will again apply section formula and get the opposite point. Now you have got this point also. You can again apply distance formula, get the value of L. So you can see that the steps are still similar. Find the equation of perpendicular bisector of points AB. Second, find its point of intersection with diameter to get center. Once you have got the center, third, apply section formula to get another vertex. And let us say that this is D. Once you have got this vertex, apply distance formula to get side length. Now we can follow the exact same step to get the answer. In this 2024 question says that a circle is inscribed in an equilateral triangle. Now they have flipped the idea. Earlier we are putting inside the circle a polygon. Now they have flipped the idea. They are saying that circle is inscribed inside an equilateral triangle. So something new. So we are putting a circle inside, so it is going to look something like this. It touches. Fine. Now what they are saying is the side is equal to length 12. So you have given the value of A is nothing but 12. Another information is area and parameter of any square inscribed in this circle. So this is first part. Now they are making it more interesting by putting in this circle a square. And you can see that we have moved forward, and now they are talking about nothing but m and n two parameters. M is nothing but the area and n is nothing but the perimeter. So we have got two things now. So first part we will do. So idea would be, and it is very simple, even I can write the steps and you can do it. So idea would be, using this geometry we will find the radius of the circle R. Once you have got the value of R, using this geometry we will find the side of this new square, let us take that as B, and get the answer. Now in order to find this R, we can drop a perpendicular from here. So now you can see that this angle is equal to 30 degree with this earlier also. This is equal to R, and this is nothing but half of the side, so side length is given as 12, so this will become 6. So we will apply tan of 30 degree, this will be equal to r by 6. This is nothing but 1 by root 3 is equal to r by 6. So r comes out to be nothing but 6 by root 3. That is nothing but 2 root 3. We have got the value of r now. Moving forward, now what we need to do here in this triangle is again apply some more geometry. So if I take this diameter, this will become b, and this is a right angle triangle. So you can see that the radius, twice of radius will be equal to nothing but b root 2. If I apply this logic here, you can see that the value, if I put 2 into r is nothing but 2 root 3. B will be nothing but root 2. So you can see that this becomes 4 root 3 is equal to b root 2. So b comes out to be nothing but 2 root 6. Now we have got the value of side. Using this we can find the area. If I want to find the area, the value of m will be equal to nothing but square of this. So that becomes nothing but 4 into 6 equal to 24. And if I want to find the value of n, that is nothing but perimeter. That perimeter is equal to 4 times b. That will be equal to nothing but 8 root 6. And if I want to find the value of n squared, this will become 64 into 6. We can add, we can do this. 6 into 4 is 24. 2. 36 plus 2, 384. So if I add the value of m plus n square, it will come out to be nothing but 408. That is nothing but option A. So in this manner, we can handle this question by dividing it into 2 doable parts. Now this 2024 question is a very interesting question. This question talks about a triangle, a square ABCD. So let us draw the diagram. We have a square ABCD like this, and this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. They are talking of another square where A is in the direction of AB, so it is somewhere here. So this length is nothing but 4, and this length is nothing but 2. So this is given to us, and let us also draw one more square joining the midpoints. Now what they have done is, using this, they have drawn a circle that touches BC and CD and passes through F, something like this. Now what they are asking, what is the radius of this circle? So what we are going to do in this case is, we are going to draw the diagonal. Now with very basic geometry, this question can be solved. Such kind of questions were earlier asked in NTSC exams at the level of class 10. Now they are very common in the CAT exam also. So it is very basic question at the level of geometry. So if this is there, now if I do some basic calculation, so we will have to write this AC in 2 different ways. So if I use this circle to write it, then you can say that we can write this as nothing but AF plus, let us say that the center is nothing but H plus FH and plus HC. So if, and this is one way to write it. So if I write it in this manner, then AF will be equal to nothing but 2 root 2, because diagonal of a square. FH will become nothing but R, because this distance is R, and if I take this also as R, because it is tangent, then this diagonal of a triangle where both of these are R. So this can also be written as nothing but R root 2, because again a right angle triangle. AC can also be taken from another, like if I take the bigger square, it is the diagonal of the bigger square, can be written as 4 root 2. If I simplify this statement, the left hand side becomes 2 root 2. This becomes R times root 2 plus 1. Now if I rationalize both the sides, 2 root 2 into root 2 minus 1 will be R times 2 minus 1. So value of R comes out to be nothing but 2 into 2 minus 2 root 2. Or 4 minus 2 root 2. So once you have got the value of R, we can check the options. You will see that D option satisfies. So it is a very simple question based on the concept of geometry of circle and squares. Now again, let us look into this 2024 question. Question interestingly says that the square is inscribed inside a circle. So let us draw a circle. they are inscribing a square inside it. So let us also draw the square. But for drawing this square, what they have said is one of the side of the square is parallel to this. So what they are saying is, if this is, you can see that the slope of this would be nothing but 45 degree or pi by 4. So it is like this. So you can see that what they are saying is one side of the square is parallel to this line. So your square will be oriented in this manner. This is what is happening. So if I draw it like this, you can see that your square will be like this, oriented like this. Now what is the benefit of doing this? Because when it happens in this manner, you can see that now the diagonals of the square will become perpendicular to each other and oriented towards x and y axis. The benefit of doing that would be that now this point would be nothing but the center of the circle. So if I calculate the center of the circle, that is nothing but 5,3. And the radius of the circle from here can be written as root of g square plus f square minus c. So if I write it down, it becomes r is nothing but root of 25 plus 9 minus 30. So it becomes nothing but root of 4. That is nothing but 2. So what we are saying is, if I go 2 units upwards, I will get this point. So you can see that the x coordinate will not change, but the y coordinate will. This point becomes 5, 5. If I go 2 units downwards, I will get this point. That would be 5, 1. If I go 2 units in this direction, I will get, now you can see the y coordinate will remain, x coordinate will change. So this will become 7, 3. And if I go 2 units backwards, now again the x coordinate will reduce by 2 and it will become 3, 3. So in this manner, you can clearly see that we have got all the 4 vertices. Now if I add all the xi's, so I will have x1 square plus x2 square plus x3 square plus x4 square. Then what they are asking, also add y1 square, y2 square, y3 square, y4 square. Now this is quite easy. You can see that because x1 and x3 will match. So this will become 25. Next becomes nothing but 49. Then the next becomes nothing but 25, and the next becomes nothing but 9. Similarly, if I do it for y, it will become 25. Next will become nothing but 9. Next will become nothing but 1, and the last will again become 9. So if you add all of this, you should get your final answer. Now let us move towards 7th problem type. 7th problem type is nothing but questions based on locus and equation of circle. Now if I look into this 2023 question says that let A be the point 1, 2 and B be any point on this curve. So let us draw it. So we are saying there is an A point that is given as 1, 2 and B be any point on this curve. See, when locus based questions are asked, it is highly recommended that you use parametric form of an equation. So we are going to use the equation parametric form. So this B point in general can be written as 4 cos theta and 4 sin theta. This will help us in finding the locus. So this P divides the line segment AB in the ratio 3:2. So first we need to find locus, then they are asking something regarding the locus that will move on towards later. So if I write it down, it becomes nothing but H will be equal to 12 cos theta plus 2 by 5. K will be nothing but 12 sin theta plus 4 by 5. So from here the value of cos theta would be nothing but 5h minus 2 by 12. From here the value of sin theta would be nothing but 5k minus 4 by 12. So we are going to find locus by applying the identity sin square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1. If I put the values in this, what I am getting is nothing but 5h minus 2 by 12 whole square plus 5k minus 4 by 12 whole square is equal to 1. So if simplified, and if I replace h by x, what am I getting is nothing but 5x minus 2 whole square plus 5y minus 4 whole square. This value will be equal to nothing but 144. So now let us find the center. You can see that this is the second part. In this we are going to find the center of this circle. So it becomes x by 2 by 5 का whole square plus y minus 4 by 5 whole square is nothing but 144 by 25. So the center of this C comes out to be 2 by 5 comma 4 by 5. Now they are asking in the fourth part, in the third part, the distance between AC, we can apply distance formula. So if I do so, A was nothing but 1 comma 2. So if I apply the distance formula, 1 minus 2 by 5 whole square plus 2 minus 4 by 5 whole square. We can see that this will become 3 by 5 whole square, and this will become nothing but 10 minus 2, this will become 6 by 5. So 3 by 5 can be taken common. What is left is 1 plus 4, that becomes root 5. The answer becomes 3 by root 5. If I move towards 2023 question says that a line segment AB of length lambda moves such that. Now this is very important. Sometimes they are not interested in the locus, they are interested in something else. So rather than finding all possible answers, even if I could find one value satisfying it and get the answer from there, it is a very good technique. Like we are going to do in this question. A line segment AB of length lambda. So they have given the value of AB is lambda. It moves such that the points A and B remain on the periphery of a circle of radius lambda. So you can see that what they are saying is A and B of length moves such that A and B always remains on the periphery. So this is lambda. And if I take this from center, this will also become lambda. Then the locus of the point which divides the line AB in the ratio 2:3. They want to find this point that divides this point in the ratio 2:3. Is the radius of circle. So you can see that they want us to find the locus of this point. Now there are multiple ways to do it, but if I want to find the locus only, okay, and you can see that if this moves like this, this will also move corresponding to this, something like this, and it will become a locus ultimately. This is what they are pointing towards. So the distance would be the same at distance at any instant. So instead of doing a lot of complicated calculation, I can simplify this question in finding the distance in a very specific scenario. So if I take this angle, and if I take this, so you can see that if this is lambda, so all the angles, this will become an equilateral triangle. So all the angles will become 60 degree. So you can see that this is lambda, this is lambda. So now I want to find a distance where this becomes 2 by 3. This is a very specific scenario. This is what we need to find. So for finding, what I can do is simply I can use my coordinate geometry. This is at a ratio 2:3. This is what is given. So you can see that if I take this point as lambda comma 0, at an angle 60 degree, if I move, this will become lambda cos pi by 3. That will become lambda by 2, and lambda sin pi by 3, that will become lambda times root 3 by 2. So I have again written the coordinates using the parametric equation of a circle. Once I have done that, now you can see that this point can be easily figured out using section formula. So if I apply section formula, the answer is going to be, let me write it here. So lambda into 3, so 3 lambda plus 2 times lambda by 2 by 5. So 2 times 3 times 0 plus 2 times lambda into root 3 by 2 by 5. You can see that you have got thing, but this will become 4 lambda by 5. If I simplify this, this is going to become root 3 times lambda by 5. So if you want to find the value of OP, that would be nothing but radius. It will become 16 lambda square by 25 plus 3 lambda square by 25. So if I take it out, the lambda by 5 will come out, and what is remaining is nothing but 16 plus 3, this will become root 19. The answer becomes root 19 lambda by 5. That is nothing but option D. You can see that taking one point corresponding to the locus can also give us answer rather than finding complicated locus. Now let us look into this 2019 question. Question says that there is a circle of radius r. It passes through origin and intersects the coordinate axis at A and B respectively. So this is what is happening. Now, if this angle is 90 degree, you can see that then this will become angle in a semicircle. So this will become nothing but dia. This is what is given to us. Now the locus of the foot of perpendicular from O and AB. So from here O point, we are dropping a foot of perpendicular. So this is nothing but P. We want to find the locus of this point. In order to solve this question, we are going to follow a specific sequence. We can see that if this is the diameter, the length of diameter will be equal to 2r. If I consider this angle as theta, then OA will become nothing but 2r times cos theta. OB will become nothing but 2r times sin theta. So if I want to write the equation of AB in the next step, it will become x by 2r cos theta plus y by 2r sin theta is equal to 1. So this is nothing but equation of straight line in intersect form. Now in the third part, they are talking about locus. To follow that, we'll have to find foot of perpendicular from 0, 0. So we have a formula that is x minus 0 by a, that will be nothing but 1 by 2r cos theta is equal to y minus 0 by 1 by 2r sin theta. This will be equal to minus, if I satisfy origin into this, it will become minus 1 by 1 by 2r cos theta ka whole square plus 1 by 2r sin theta whole square. Now from here, if I simplify it, this will become x by 1 by 2r cos theta is equal to y by 1 by 2r sin theta. And this becomes, after simplification, nothing but 4r square sin square theta cos square theta. Now from here, if I want to find the value of x, the value of x will become nothing but 2r sin square theta cos theta. And similarly, value of y will become 2r sin theta cos square theta. Once you have got this, you can know that this is nothing but your h, this is nothing but k. So we can, now instead of doing this, we are going to shortcut it. We are directly going to eliminate the theta. So in the fourth part, in order to eliminate, we can divide it. So if we divide it, we get the value of x by y as tan theta. If x by y is tan theta, you can make a small triangle. This angle is theta, this is x and y. Get the value of sin theta. It is going to be nothing but x by root of x square plus y square. And similarly, the value of cos theta is going to be y by root of x square plus y square. Let us substitute these values in the first equation and see what happens. If I do so, this first equation in the fifth step will become nothing but x will be equal to 2r. This is going to become x square by x square plus y square. And this will become y by root of x square plus y square. You can see that x will get cancelled out. And what we are remaining with is nothing but x square plus y square raised to the power 3 by 2 is equal to 2r xy. If I check the options, you can see that this option, B option, matches. If you square, what we have got. Now let us look into this 2024 question. Question says that the locus of the midpoint of the chords. This is the first part, and I just read till here only. Do not read the whole question. The locus of midpoint of the chord. If you look into the circle, it is a very specific circle. The radius is 1, center is 0, 1. This point will become 0, 2. This is what is given. The locus of the midpoint of the chords drawn from the origin. So this is the origin. From here, if I draw a chord, they want us to find the midpoint. So this is the midpoint. This point's locus they want us to find. So let us put it as h, k. Locus has 4 steps always. Locate the point, write the condition. You can see that if I take this point as x1, y1, the condition that I can write it. So these are subparts of that locus for the question. x1 plus 0 by 2 will be equal to h. So from here the value of x1 becomes 2h. Similarly, y1 plus 0 by 2 will be equal to k. So here y1 becomes nothing but 2k. So what we are saying is this point that we have written is 2h, 2k. This point is. In the next part, in order to find this locus, we are going to take this and satisfy, because now this is a point on the circle, it is going to satisfy this equation. So let us satisfy in the next part. If I do so, in place of x I am writing 2h, in place of y I am writing 2k. So this is the locus. If I write it systematically, you can see that the locus is also a circle. So it becomes x square plus y minus 1 by 2 whole square equal to 1 by 4. So you have done the first part of the question. The second says that this line is getting intersected by the locus at P and Q. So let us draw a diagram. See, we have got a circle where this point is 0, 0. This point is again 0, 1 by 2. This is what is happening. So you can see that this point in this scenario will become 0, 1. So now if I draw the line, you can see that our line will go like this. It will intersect at 2 points. This is P. Let us take this as Q. So Q will become nothing but 1 by 2, 1 by 2. This you can observe. Once you have observed this, in the third part, if you find the value of PQ, you will have to apply distance formula. So it becomes 1 by 2 ka whole square plus 1 by 2 ka whole square. And it will come out to be nothing but 1 by 2, 4 plus 1 by 4. That is nothing but root of 1 by 2. You can see that your option C matches. Now in this next problem type, we are going to see the interaction of equation of circle with the concept of limits. Now let us look into this very beautiful question that was asked in 2024. Question says that a circle passing through point 2, 0 has its center as h, k. This is the first part of the question. The center is h, k. It passes through 2, 0. Another statement that they have given is this. There are two lines given. One is nothing but 3x plus 5y is equal to 1, and the another one is nothing but 2 plus c times x plus 5c square y is equal to 1. Now they are saying that if you find the point of intersection of these two lines, it is xc, yc. And in the third part, if you apply limit over it, so if I apply limit x tends to 1 over xc, it becomes h, and limit c tends to 1 over yc, it becomes k. So now let us figure out the value of h and k using these two ideas. The first idea would be to find this point of intersection, and that won't be difficult because for doing that, we will have to multiply this statement by nothing but c square. And subtract it from the next statement, that is nothing but 2 plus c times x plus 5c square y is equal to 1. So if I do so, you can see that the c square y part will get cancelled out. What we will get is nothing but 2 plus c minus 3c square into x is equal to nothing but 1 minus c square. You can see that the value of x or xc, as we call it, can become c square plus 1 by 3c square minus c minus 2. Now if you apply a limit over it, limit c tends to 1, we will be able to get the value of h. So let us apply the limit. So once you do it, you have immediately realize that it is 0 by 0 form. So we'll use L'Hopital rule to solve it. So if I differentiate, limit c tends to 1, this will become 2c by 3c into 2 minus 1. If you put the value of c as 1, it becomes nothing but 2 by 5. So we have got the value of h. Now if I want to get the value of k, what I will do is I will take this value and put it in the first equation, because this point will satisfy. So 3h plus 5k is equal to 1. So if h is equal to 2 by 5, so this will become 6 by 5 plus 5k is equal to 1. So k will come out to be nothing but minus 1 by 25. Now one thing would be, either we can find the equation, because we have got the center as nothing but 2 by 5 and minus 1 by 25 at this radius also, so we can write the equation of circle and get the answer, or you can just check the options for the center, and from there also you will get answer. Now let us move towards type 8 problem. Type 8 problem talks about location of a point with respect to a circle, its maximum distance, minimum distance, and the point of maximum minimum distance on the circle. Now if I talk about this, there are few ideas that you should know. If there is a point inside or outside the circle, it does not matter. We are considering this distance is d. Once you have got this distance, you will clearly be able to identify that this is nothing but the radius. So the point of maximum minimum distance are diametrically opposite. So if I want to find this point of minimum distance, it is going to be nothing but d minus r, and this maximum distance point will become nothing but d plus r. Now if the point is inside, this will become r minus d. So for the safer side, we can put a mod over it. Both of these results are written here. If you actually want to get this point, so if you have coordinates of this center, let us say x0 comma y0, and this is nothing but x1 comma y1. If I want to find this point, what I can do is I can apply section formula. Having this much knowledge is enough, because till this date there has been no question regarding that, but it can be asked in your exam, hence it is very important to know this. If I move forward, this 2022 question says that set up the values for k for which this circle lies inside the fourth quadrant and this point lies on or inside the circle. See, so first things first, if I want to find the location of a point with respect to circle, the idea is power of a point. So S1, if something needs to be lie inside the circle, it is equal to 0, smaller than 0. On it should be equal to 0, so this is what is. If I put it here, now you can see that this will become nothing but 4 plus 4 by 9 minus 12 minus 8 by 3 plus k is smaller than equal to 0. If I simplify this, let us see what do we get. This and this will become minus 8. Then what you have is nothing but 4 by 9. So this is 4 by 9. This can also be multiplied by 3. 3 into 8 is 24 by 9 will be there. So from here we can get the value. So again, if I simplify, the value of k will be smaller than or equal to 8 plus 20 by 9. Again, if I simplify it, it should be nothing but 9 into 8 is 72 to 92 by 9. This is one condition. Now they have given one more condition, that this lies inside the fourth quadrant. Now let us understand. See, it will lie inside the fourth quadrant if this kind of a situation happens. So what should happen is, if I am writing x coordinate, it should be greater than, so whatever is the x coordinate here, it should be greater than radius, and the y coordinate should be again greater than radius in terms of magnitude. This should happen, then this condition will also get satisfied. But if you look into the option, you have already looked into a D option, it matches, but still for the sense of security, let us solve it. If I do this, you can see that the center is coming out to be nothing but, if I divide by 4, this becomes minus 3 by 2. This will become 3 by 2, comma 8 if I divide by 4 becomes 2, so this becomes minus 1. This is my center. And if I look into the radius part comes out to be nothing but g square plus f square minus c, so 9 by 4 plus 1 minus k by 4. This is what we are getting. So once you have got this, now we can simplify. The first condition would be r. Now this r should be, this value of r should also be smaller than 1. Now if you apply these two conditions, from here you will also get the value of k. If I take intersection between all the three conditions, my D option matches. 2023 question says that the point this lies inside this region. Now first let us understand this region. So if you look into this region, there are 2-3 parts into it. One is this circle. So if you just look into this part, what you will understand is this is not the whole circle but semicircle. But if I write the equation, it talks about x square plus y square is equal to 9. So this is a semicircle or a part of circle whose center is at 0, 0 and the radius is nothing but 3, 0. Now they are talking about the points inside this circle between 0 to 3. So again they have minimized it into this part only. So this is the region they are talking about. Now the second part of the question says that it needs to be greater than. So if I look into only this part now, for this part y should be greater than or equal to 3 minus x, or we can say that x plus y is greater than or equal to 3. Now x plus y is equal to 3, so it will be a line like this. In order to understand the region, we'll have to substitute 0, so you can see that 0 is not getting satisfied. So it is this region. You can clearly see that this is the region, common intersection that you're looking into. Now if I look into this question, what they want us to find is a set of the values of p. Now what they're saying is this, again we have a question of this p. This p is a point that lies inside this region. Now let us understand p. So one way to do it would be we put the condition in both the things and then do it. But there is a smarter way of doing it. That smarter way is you plot the locus of this p. In the second step, if I consider what you can see is x is given as p, so y is given as nothing but p plus 1. If you substitute the value, the locus will be there. So they are talking about this line, y is equal to x plus 1. If I put x equal to 0, y will become 1. So we will start from here, and you can see that we'll draw a line like this. Now we can see that what they are asking is the value of s, x or p corresponding to these 2 points, because this will be the range in which the p can lie. If you do it in this manner, your calculations become simpler, solution becomes faster. Now we can see that this initial point, let us say this first point, that is a, this point is b. So a will be corresponding, and this is the third part of the question. Now we can see that a will be corresponding to point of intersection of 2 lines. One is y is equal to x plus 1 and another one is nothing but x plus y is equal to 3. So you can see the value of y if I substitute, it will become x plus 1 is equal to 3. So twice of x will be equal to 2, x comes out to be 1. So a we have got as nothing but 1 from here. So one endpoint would be this. For finding another endpoint, that is nothing but b, we'll have to find the point of intersection with the circle. So your circle is nothing but y is equal to root 9 minus x square, and we have to find the point of intersection with y is equal to x plus 1. If I do so, you can see that this will become x plus 1 is equal to root 9 minus x square. Now if we can just think of a value, it would be more than enough, but let us still solve it. So if I solve it, x plus 1 ka whole square will be equal to 9 minus x square, and if I simplify, it becomes x square plus 2x plus 1 is equal to 9 minus x square, or 2x square plus 2x minus 8 is equal to 0, or x square plus x minus 4 is equal to 0. What they have given is b square plus b. This is given, and then what they want is minus a square. So you can see that since b is nothing but root of this equation, b square plus b minus 4 will be equal to 0. So b square plus b will become 4, and a we have already figured out as 1, so this will become 1 square. So answer comes out to be 3. If I look into this 2024 question, this is a very interesting question. This question talks about a circle of radius 1 that is closer to the origin, and it touches the lines parallel to x axis and y axis at 3, 2. So they are talking about this circle that touches these 2 lines like this. The radius is already given to us as 1, so r becomes 1. See, if r is 1, if I go 1 unit below here, I will get my y coordinate. So y coordinate of this point will become 1. And if I go 1 unit backwards, I will get my x coordinate, so that becomes 2. So you can see that now we have got the center of the circle, we have got the radius of the circle, and they are talking about a distance of a point 5, 5. So 5, 5 would be somewhere here. Shortest distance would be a point that lies on the line joining these 2 points. This point they are talking about, And we have learned the formula. This is nothing but d minus r mod. So distance between the center. Now d, if I want to find, it would be nothing but root of 3 square plus 4 square, and r they have given as 1. So this becomes 5. This becomes 1. So my answer becomes 4. Extremely simple question directly based on formula. Moving forward, we have type 9 question in which we are going to look into questions based on intercepts of circle. Now, when you have a circle x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equal to 0, the x-intercept corresponding to this is nothing but 2 root g square minus c, and the y-intercept corresponding to this is 2 root f square minus c. There are two very interesting results. Now we are going to use these two results to solve problems. This JEE 2019 question says that a circle touching the x-axis at 3, 0. So let us draw it. A circle touching the x-axis at 3, 0 and intercept of 8 units on the y-axis passes through the point. So we are talking about a circle like this. So this can also happen, and this is also a possibility. But if you look into the option, all the points are given as positive. So there is no point taking the second possibility. So let us remove this. We are worried about this possibility only. Now they are saying that this point is 3, 0 and this distance is nothing but 8 units. Now in order to find the center, so now there are two ways. I can use the formula or I can use the geometry. I am using geometry to solve the questions because I have observed that this is most of the questions the shortest method. You can directly observe that the x coordinate of the center will also be 3 units. The x coordinate becomes 3. Y coordinate, if you look into it, this will be equal to the radius. So let us say A is radius, so this becomes 3, Now let us go into this diagram. So if I connect and draw this triangle, so this was first part. In the next part, I am going into this triangle. So if I go into this triangle, you can see that since these are 2 points on the circle, this is equal to radius. And this distance we already know is 3. This whole is 8 units, so half of that will become 4 units. So in this triangle, if I apply Pythagoras theorem, what you will observe is a square will be equal to 3 square plus 4 square. So this becomes nothing but 25. The radius of the circle comes out to be 5. Once we have figured out the radius, we know the center and we will be able to write the equation. The third step, let us write the equation. The equation of circle becomes x minus 3 whole square plus y minus 5 whole square is equal to 25. Now after this, we can satisfy the options and check the answer. Now let us look into this 2022 question. It says that you have been given a circle that passes through the point 6, 1 and its center lies on this line. Then the length of the intercept made on the x-axis. Now let us draw the circle. This is the circle. Equation of the circle they have given to us. You can see that in this G and C are two unknowns. It passes through a point 6, 1. So there are 2-3 things happening. One is the center is on a line. So let us understand this line is nothing but x minus 2cy is equal to 8. The center of the circle can be written as g, minus 3. So this g, minus 3 lies on this line. So you can see that first equation I can get just by substituting this point. So g plus 2c into 3 will be equal to 8. So g plus 6c is equal to 8. So we have got our first equation. Now for the second thing, what they have given is it passes through a point 6, 1. If it passes through a point 6, 1, in the next one, I can satisfy 6, 1 into it. So this will become 36 plus 1 minus 12g plus 6 minus 19c is equal to 0. If I simplify, this is 37, 30, so this will become 42 plus 1, 43. This is minus 12g. This is 19c is equal to 0. So you have got the second condition. Now see, unknowns two equations you can solve. In the third step, find the value of G and C. Once you have got that, by applying the formula 2 root G square minus C, you can find the x-intercept. So it is not a very difficult question, a direct formula based question. Now let us look into this very interesting JEE 2023 question. Question talks about a circle passing through a point alpha comma beta and touching the x-axis and y-axis in the first quadrant at A and B. So if you draw the diagram, it is going to look something like this. And now what is happening is, if I write the equation of this circle, assuming the radius to be A, you can see that we have done that earlier in a special case or a result of equation. This is going to be A comma A. This point will become 0 comma A, and this point will become A comma 0. Now this point is A, this point is given as B. One more thing that they are doing is joining these 2 points to draw a line. This line is nothing but AB. And now they have taken a point P alpha comma beta in the first quadrant that touches, the perpendicular distance from P on AB is given as 11 units. See, now if I take this point, what is going to happen is, so this point is given as nothing but alpha beta. And this is an important thing to notice. Once you have noticed this, now you can see that this distance from P to Q, this point is Q, is given as nothing but 11. If I actually calculate this, assuming the center to be C, so this PQ can be broken down into nothing but PC plus CQ. Now this is 11. PC will become nothing but the A, and CQ, you can see that this is A. This angle will be 45 degree. So you can see that this will become nothing but A by root 2. If I want to find this value, you can see that it comes out to be A into 1 plus root 2 by 2. Value of A is nothing but 11 times root 2 by 1 plus root 2. Now if you want to find the coordinates of P, what is going to happen is, this distance, now you can see that alpha and beta are both equal because of the symmetry that is given to us. So in my third step, I can solve and get the answer. So if I want to get the value of alpha from parametric coordinates, this equation of the circle, let us first write that. The equation of circle is like this. So if I want to write parametric coordinates, alpha will be equal to A plus A cos theta. And since theta is nothing but 45 degree, this will become A plus A by root 2. So it is nothing but A times 1 plus root 2 by root 2. And you can see that from here we have already figured out that this value is equal to 11. You can see that alpha comes out to be 11. Since both of them are on x and I with slope 1, then you can see that alpha will also be equal to beta. As a result, beta also becomes 11. So what you can observe in this question is alpha and beta will be equal to nothing but 11 square or 121. This is an extremely observation based question, because if you do it in this manner, the calculation is very simple. If you do otherwise, the calculation becomes tricky. Now in this 10th problem type, we are going to look into questions based on intersection of circle and line. If I look into this first question, question says that the number of integral values of k for which this line intersects this circle at 2 distinct points. So you can see that a line is going to intersect a circle if the distance from the center is less than radius. So this distance from the center, or perpendicular distance d, should be less than radius. We are going to apply this idea, and this is the most important idea for any kind of chord condition. And if I do so, the distance from the center comes out to be nothing but 1, 2. The radius of this circle, if I find A, it is root of g square plus f square minus c. So 1 plus 4 minus 4, this will become 1. So what we need to apply is a very simple condition in the step 2. D should be smaller than 1. Perpendicular distance from 1, 2 over the line would be nothing but 3 plus 4 minus k ka mod root of 3 square plus 4 square, that will become 5. So what we are getting is 7 minus k ka mod is smaller than 5. It is better to write that as k minus 7 ka mod is smaller than 5. So the range of k minus 7 would be from minus 7 minus 5 to 5. If I add 7 on both the sides, this will become 2 and this will become 12. So k lies between 2 and 12. You can count the number of integrals in this values in this duration. This 2019 question says the variable line is such that two circles are on the opposite side of the line in the set of the values of lambda. See, now this is primarily a question of straight lines and not circle, but circle concept is getting involved. So they are saying that you have a line. The equation of the variable line is 3x plus 4y minus lambda equal to 0. The circles are on the opposite side. So that would just mean that the center, this one circle should be like this, another circle should be like this. So how many conditions are there? So one is basically that if you look into the center of this circle, it is nothing but 1 comma 1. This is the first one. Radius, if I look into it, it is root of g square plus f square minus c. It becomes nothing but 1. If I look into this another circle, the center is at nothing but 9 comma 1. If I look into the radius, it is g square, so 81 plus 1 minus 78. So this becomes 2. Now using this, how can I solve? So you will have to write 3 conditions. Let me write those 3 conditions. First condition is the point when satisfied into this equation of line should have opposite sign. So 3 plus 4 minus lambda, I am satisfying the first point. And then the second point, 9 into 3 is 27 plus 4 minus lambda. This should be smaller than 0. First condition. In the next condition, ideally I will want in the next condition that this is completely on the other side. So the distance from the center and this line should be greater than the radius. So in this first case, d1 should be greater than r1. So if I write this one condition, it is going to become 3 plus 4 minus lambda ka mod by root of 3 square plus 4 square. This should be greater than r1, that is nothing but 1. And then the third condition would be nothing but the same for the another line, 3 into 9 plus 4 minus lambda ka mod divided by root of 3 square plus 4 square. This should be also greater than 2. If you solve these conditions, you will get the right answer. Now it could have become simpler. It could have become simpler if you have noticed the geometry. So this is a normal process of doing this question. Now observe a more tricky way of doing the same idea. So what could I have done is I could have drawn the circles that I could have observed the geometry. Now for that, if I draw the first circle on the coordinate axis, how will it look like? So you can see that it is given in such a manner that the center is at 1 comma 1, the radius is 1. So it is going to touch the coordinate axis like this. This is 9 comma 1. You can see that what needs to happen is, and if they need to lie on the opposite side, the line that is given to me, it should be in such a manner that it goes like this. This is a more efficient way of doing questions. So what you need to do is, you just need to find the value of lambda corresponding to this situation, and then do the question. Now for the first situation corresponding to red circle, the center is at 1 comma 1 and the radius is 1. So let us apply this condition. So it is going to become nothing but 3 plus 4 minus lambda ka mod by root of 3 square plus 4 square. Let us find the lambda corresponding to this condition. It will be equal to radius. So this becomes, you can see that now the calculation is getting really simple. So what is happening is lambda minus 7 will be equal to plus minus 5. If I take plus 5, lambda becomes 12. And if I take minus 5, lambda becomes 2. So these are the two extreme values. In the second part, I will do the same thing but for 9 comma 1. So it will become 3 into 9 plus 4 minus lambda ka mod by root of 3 square plus 4 square. This should be equal to 2. Now if I simplify, this becomes 27 plus 4 minus lambda ka mod. This will be equal to 10. This will become 31. So lambda minus 31 is equal to plus minus 10. So from here, the two probable values of lambda that we are getting is nothing but, if I take plus sign, this becomes 41 and if I take minus sign, it becomes 21. These are the values. So you can see that we have got 4 values. Now see, we don't know. Now all I need to do is check the value of lambda corresponding to each one of them. Commonsensically, if you just observe, you see that this will be corresponding to 2. This will be 12. Ascending order, this will be 21, this will be 41. So see, the lambda value that will want to be should be in this range. So answer becomes 12 to 21. So 12 to 21 comes in option C, and that becomes the answer. Now this type 11 question talks about length of chord. So for finding length of chord, we are going to use Pythagoras theorem in most of the questions. So idea would be, if this is a circle, this is the center, and we want to find this length of chord, then I can drop a perpendicular. This distance will become D. This distance is nothing but R or A. So this will be half of length of chord. We can apply Pythagoras theorem and find the answer. This is the logic that we are going to use. Now let us look into this 2020 question. Length of this chord of this circle along this line is given as R, then R square is equal to. So they are trying to mess up a little bit by introducing lots of R, but that's fine. The equation of the circle is very simple. The center is at origin. They have given us a equation y is equal to 2x plus 3. So 2x plus 3 would be a line that goes like this. Now what they are saying is the length of the chord along this is R. So this distance is given as R. Now they want us to find the value of R square. So what we will do is we will join this point, drop a perpendicular, and make our right angle triangle that we require. So you can see, you can clearly observe the right angle triangle, and it is ready for applying the Pythagoras theorem. For that we will require the value of D. So let us in the second step first find the value of D. That is distance from the center of the circle. So that will, the equation of line can be written as, if I find the distance from the center, it will become 0 minus 3 mod divided by root of a square plus b square, that will become 5. So answer is nothing but 3 by root 5. Once I have this, now I have the stage is set for applying the Pythagoras theorem. So what we can write is the hypotenuse is R square, perpendicular distance is D, and it will become half of the chord length, so R by 2 ka whole square. I have applied the Pythagoras theorem. So from here you can see that this is R square, D square will be nothing but 9 by 5. This value will become R square by 4. If I subtract it from the left hand side, this becomes 3R square by 4. Now you can see that this will get cancelled out. So R square comes out to be 12 by 5. Option C matches. If I look into this next 2021 question, if one of the diameters of this circle is a chord of another circle C, whose center is 3, 2. So what they are saying is the diameter of this circle. So let us first draw this circle. And I am drawing a rough diagram, not a very exact diagram. If one of the diameters of this circle, let us take this diameter. This we know. The center will lie on the diameter. The center of this circle is 1, 3. Let us, and the length of this will be equal to 2 times radius. So let us also find radius. It will be g square plus f square minus c. So 1 plus 9 minus 6. So this becomes root of 4 or 2. You can see that this length will be equal to 4. Half of that will be equal to 2. Now what they are saying is a chord of another circle whose center is at 2, 1. Now let us go into the second scenario, where you have another circle and this is the chord for that. The center of that circle is 2, 1. Okay. We obviously do not know, but if I join the midpoint, this midpoint would be nothing but the center of the earlier circle. This will become 1, 3. This we know the length of this chord, that was 4. So half of this, so this is nothing but 4 from here to here. So half will become 2 from here to here. So if I want to find the radius of the circle, it is simple. We will again apply Pythagoras theorem and find the answer. So first we will have to find the value of D. For finding the value of D in the next step, we will apply distance formula. So 2 minus 1 will become 1 square. 1 minus 3 will become again 2 square. So this becomes root of 5. Now if I apply the Pythagoras theorem, we have got all the ingredients. R square will be equal to D square plus 2 square. So r square is coming out to be d square, that is 5. This will become 4. So r comes out to be 3. So answer of this question becomes 3 units. If I move towards this 2022 question, it says one of the diameter of this circle is a chord of this circle. And this is exactly the same question, there is nothing new. In this 2022 question, it says that this circle touches x-axis at 1, 0. If the line x plus y intersects the circle at point P and Q such that the length of chord PQ is 2, then the value of h plus k plus r is equal to. Not a very tough question. There are multiple things given. One, it is touching the x-axis at a point 1, 0. This is what is happening. If this happens, you know that the y coordinate would be equal to either a or minus a. But since they are saying that k is greater than 0, it is above. So that would mean k is equal to a in this case. That is nothing but the radius of the circle. So in this case, a is not given, r is given. So let us write k is equal to r. Now I have two things, h. Now see, you can see that if it is like this, if it touches, this distance will be equal to nothing but the x coordinate. So the value of h from here also comes out to be 1. So by basic geometry, we have figured out that all of these things. So this is statement that they are asking now reduced down to 1 plus r plus r. So what I want to answer is nothing but 2r plus 1. Now it is a simple question because now for finding the value of r, they have given another condition. And let us transition from this first idea to that next idea. That next idea says that if you go into this circle, there is a condition of chord given. There is a line. The equation of the line is x plus y is equal to 0. And this line intersects the circle at P and Q. So this is P, this is Q. The length of PQ is 2 units. So this is given as 2 units. Now we will apply the same. We will drop a perpendicular from center. Center in this case is nothing but 1, r. This is r. So we will find the value of d. So let us apply it, and this part will become 1. So if I apply d square plus 1 square will be equal to r square. Only thing I will have to find the value of d. So d from perpendicular distance formula will become 1 plus r ka mod by root 2. So this will become r plus 1 by root 2 whole square. 1 square is equal to r square. Solving this, you will be able to get the value of r square. So it is not a very difficult question, you can see. Also check my calculation to check if the answer matches. In this 2021 question says that if a circle is given with OA is equal to 1, good for them to give us the diagram. So this point is nothing but A. So this is given as 1. So this becomes 1, 0. They have also given us the B. This is nothing but 13, 0. PQ is perpendicular to OB. So this is perpendicular. And then the area of the triangle PQB is. So if you want to find the area of triangle PQB, it will be 2 times area of triangle PAB, which in turn can be written as half of base, that is nothing but AB, into height, that is nothing but PA. So you can see that fundamentally if you want to solve this question, you require the value of AB and PA. See, the AB is given in the question because this is 13, this is 1. So AB, if I want to find, it will become 12. The only task in this question is to find the value of this P. If I can figure out this point, my job is done. There is nothing, no mystery to this question. Now let us move forward how to find this value of P. Now you can see that the x coordinate of this is 1. So this point will also become 1. The k or the y part we don't know. So let us write the y part as nothing but y1. So if I get this y1, I will be able to find the value of P, and this PA is nothing but y1 only. So if I get y1, I will be able to find the height of the triangle as well, and we will be able to get the answer. Now how to find this y1, that is the only thing that we'll want to figure out. Now if you look into this equation that is given to us, this OB is nothing but the diameter. So the center point will become, or the center of this circle, let us write C, will be nothing but 13 by 2, 0. So if you have 13 by 2, 0, so then the next step you will be able to write the equation of the circle, it is minus 13 by 2 whole square minus y minus 0. You can see that the radius will also become 13 by 2. 13 by 2 whole square. Now we can see this point P will satisfy this. So let us satisfy in the third step this point 1 comma y1 into it. So if I do it, this becomes 1 minus 13 by 2 whole square plus y1 square. This will be equal to 13 by 2 whole square. Now you can see that from here easily you can get the value of y1. y1 is equal to PA also. From there we will be able to get area of triangle. It is a simple question based on again geometry. Now this 2023 question is a very interesting question. It says that there is a circle whose center is at root 2 comma root 3. There is a point O and origin, and now what they have given is CP and CQ. Both of them are perpendicular to the line joining OC. See, that can only mean that are extremities of diameter. This is what we have. The coordinates of P are given as A1 comma B1 and coordinates of Q are given as A2 comma B2. This is what is the information given to us. They have also given that OCP, if I look into this triangle, the area of this triangle OCP is given as root 35 by 2. But actually if I want to find it, it will be equal to this distance into this radius. It can help us get nothing but in the first part the radius of the circle. So half of D into R will be equal to root 35 by 2. D, if you apply perpendicular distance formula from origin, will become nothing but root of A square plus B square. This will become root of 5. So this is root of 35 by 2. So 2 will get cancelled out. This will become root 7. So value of R is nothing but root 7. Okay. So this part is now figured out, radius we know. Now see, from here we can write two different conditions. So one is we can find the distance between P and Q. So PQ will be equal to 2 times radius. So if I write this distance, it is going to be A1 minus A2. B1 minus B2 whole square. This will be equal to 2 times root 7. If I simplify this, this comes out to be A1 square plus A2 square minus 2A1 A2 plus B1 square plus B2 square minus 2B1 B2. And you can see that this will come out to be nothing but 28. This is first equation. In the next part, third, we also know that since P and Q are extremities of diameter, if I apply section formula, A1 plus A2 will be equal to root 2 by 2. B1 plus B2 by 2, it will be equal to root 3. From this first, now from here, if I square them and add, it will become A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 by 4 plus B1 square plus B2 square plus 2B1 B2 by 4, and if I add them up, the answer comes out to be nothing but 5. So you can see that from the second equation what we are getting is A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 plus B1 square plus B2 square plus 2B1 B2. This will be equal to nothing but 20. This is my second equation. Now if you add equation 1 and 2, you get your answer. This is how we need to solve this question. So this is nothing but a simple question based on distance formula. 2024 question says that if one of the diameters of this circle is a chord of another circle whose center is the point of intersection of these two lines. Now this is the exact same question that we solved earlier. So nothing new to be solved in this question. Now let us look into type 12 question, that is chord bisected. So in a circle, if we want to find an equation of a chord that is bisected at a point x1 comma y1, the way to find this equation is nothing but t is equal to s1. T is nothing but equation like we write equation of a tangent, and s1 is nothing but if you put x1 comma y1 in the equation of a circle. Now let us see this in a problem. In 2023, two circles in the first quadrant of radii r1 and r2 touch coordinate axis. each of them cuts off an intercept of 2 units from the line, then r1 square, r2 square. So now you can see that one circle that is touching is like this. There is a line that goes like this. Then there is a bigger circle that comes like this. It again touches and goes like this. A little bit shabby diagram, but this is the idea. Now each of them cuts off intercept of 2 units from this line. Then what is this value? You can see that now what is going to happen is, I am not going to consider both the circles. Now this I have just shown you to understand how the things are happening. I will only take one circle to illustrate my point. So what I am doing is I am taking a circle that touches both the axes. So this becomes a comma 0. This will become 0 comma a. Now we have done this multiple times. The center of the circle will become a comma. So you have a line that goes like this. The equation of this line is given as nothing but x plus y is equal to 2. So again we will apply the same thing that we were doing earlier. We are going to drop a perpendicular from here. This will be the radius, so this will become a. This distance will become d. And they have given that the length of the intercept of 2 units. So this whole thing from here to here is 2. So half will become 1. So again I can go into this small triangle. This is nothing but d, this is nothing but a, this is nothing but 1. So if I apply Pythagoras theorem, d square plus 1 square will be equal to a square. We know the center of this circle. So for finding d, we can apply distance formula. So it will become a plus a minus 2 ka mod by root 2. So it is nothing but twice of a minus 2 ka mod by root 2. Or in simple words, root 2 times a minus 1 ka mod. If I put this value here, this will become 2 times a minus 1 ka whole square plus 1 square. This will be equal to a square. If I simplify, you can see that what am I getting is a quadratic equation. This will get cancelled out. So what we are getting is a square minus 4a plus 3 is equal to 0. So once you have got this, you can see that since it is a quadratic, there will be 2 such values. And that is what exactly question says, that there are 2 such values. One is r1 and the another one is nothing but r2. So they have already given us 2 values of a. So one value will become r1, another one will become r2. So from here we will be able to write the sum of the roots. That is nothing but 4. And we will be able to write the product of the roots. That would be nothing but 3. Now let us come back to the question. Question says that find the value of this expression. r1 square. So in the third part, r1 square plus r2 square minus r1 r2. This is the expression's value that they want us to find. So this can be expressed as r1 plus r2 whole square minus 3 times r1 r2. So if I simplify, this becomes 4 square minus 3 into 3. So 16 minus 9, this would be equal to 7. Answer. Now let us look into this very interesting question of 2023. Question says that the locus of the midpoint of the chords with subtended angle theta I at the center of the circle. So let us draw the circle. So what they are saying is there is a circle whose center is given as 4, 5. The radius is nothing but 2. These are the informations given to me. With subtended angle theta I at the center of the circle C1. So this is the angle theta I. So they are talking about the locus of the midpoint of this chord. So you can see that this point corresponding to this locus they are talking about. H comma K. So you can see that if this point moves, it is going to make a circle. Okay? So if you have little bit of imagination, you will be able to notice this. If I start moving this line, you can see that this point will move here. If I start moving, this point will move here. So ultimately, if I connect all of these points, it will become the locus of this midpoint of the chord that will move like this. So if you have this kind of imagination power, this solution will become extremely simple, like 3-4 lines. If you don't have this, then you will have to write equations. So now if I want to find the radius of this circle, you can see that this r1 would be nothing but this distance. So let us rewrite the question now. So questions, what we need to find is This is my center, that is nothing but 4 comma 5. And now what I want to find is corresponding to any angle theta, what is this perpendicular distance? This perpendicular distance will be equal to Ri. So if this whole is theta, half of it will become theta I by 2. This radius is 2. So you can see that in this triangle that is available to me. Now let me highlight it for you. In this green triangle, I will apply cos of theta by 2. It will be equal to nothing but base, that is nothing but Ri, by radius that will be nothing but 2. You can see that the value of Ri comes out to be 2 times cos of theta I by 2. Now using this relation we can do everything, because now what they are giving is different values of theta. So correspondingly we can write different values of Ri and hence get the answer. Moving forward, in the third step, if I put the values of theta, so theta 1 is given as nothing but pi by 3. So my value of R1 corresponding to that will be 2 times cos pi by 6. So 2 into root 3 by 2. This becomes root 3. If for theta 3 it is given as 2 pi by 3. So corresponding to that R3 will become 2 times of cos pi by 3. And this becomes 2 into 1 by 2, it becomes 1. And similarly R2 we don't know the value of theta. So it will become theta 2 by 2. Now let us in the fourth part put all of these values in the expression that is given in the question. It is R1 square is equal to R2 square plus R3 square. Substitute the values, find the value of R3, and from there R2, and from there let us get the value of theta 2, because that is what is asked in the question. So if I put the value of R1, it will become nothing but 3. If I put the value of R2, that becomes 4 times cos square theta 2 by 2. And if I put the value of R3, it is nothing but 1. So this will get subtracted. Cos square theta 2 by 2. This will be equal to 1 by 2. Correspondingly, cos of theta by 2 will become nothing but 1 by root 2. So theta 2 by 2 will become pi by 4, and they can have multiple values. Theta 2 will be equal to, so one of the values of theta 2 is pi by 2. Let us check the options. So A option of this question matches. You can find all other possible values and do that way also, there is no problem in doing that. Now this 2023 question is a very old question of one of the books, A. Das Gupta, and it has been reformed into a new avatar. Let us see what this question says. Question is saying that there is a circle, and if you divide this by 2, you will figure out the center of the circle lies at 1 plus a by 4 and 1 minus a by 4. This is given to us. Then they have also given that it passes through origin, because you can see there is no constant term. So there is a point 0, 0 lying on the circle, and now from a point P, now if you take this point P will also lie on the circle. The reason is that you will understand in a minute. It is nothing but diametrical extremity of this origin, because if you apply section formula it satisfies. So this is the observation part in this question, that from a point P, that P point on the circle is the diametrical opposition of this origin. Now once you have observed this, what they are saying is there is a chord, so the set of values of a square for which this line bisects two distinct chords drawn from a circle from P. So now this is a chord P. They are talking about a line that bisects it. So this point of bisection lies on x plus y is equal to 0. So if I take the x coordinate x, the y coordinate will become minus x. So this is the question, and they want us to find the range of this point. Now see, if I join this point, something unique will happen. What will happen? Now let us redraw this diagram one more time. So this was my first part. If I redraw this diagram in the second part, what you will understand is, I am drawing it in a very linear manner so that it is easy to understand. This one extremity is nothing but 1 plus a by 2, 1 minus a by 2. This midpoint is nothing but x comma minus x. The center of the circle is nothing but 1 plus a by 4, 1 minus a by 4. So if I join this center to this point, it is going to be perpendicular. So let us apply condition of perpendicularity. Let us take this point as C, this was P, this is A, and this is B. So what we are saying is PB will be perpendicular to CB. So if I take the slopes, M1 into M2 will be equal to -1. Now let us see what happens if I do this. So M1, if I find, that is nothing but slope of PB, it is going to be nothing but x minus x minus 1 minus a by 2 and then x minus 1 plus a by 2. Similarly, the slope of M2, that is nothing but CB, would be nothing but minus x minus 1 minus a by 4 divided by x minus 1 plus a by 4. This is equal to -1. So you can see that if I multiply, I will get a quadratic. And they are saying that two such values of x should exist, so it should have nothing but distinct roots. Now let us look into this. So if I look into this, this numerator part can be simplified. If I multiply with minus sign, denominator will remain intact. This will also become x plus 1 minus a by 4 by x minus 1 plus a by 4. So what I need to just do is cross multiply it. So if I simplify, it becomes x square 1 minus a by 2 plus 1 minus a by 4 times x plus 1 minus a whole square by 8. On the other side, if you multiply, it becomes minus of x square minus 1 minus 1 plus a by 2 plus 1 plus a by 4 times x plus 1 plus a square by 8. If I now bring them on the same side, let us see what do I get. So what I am going to get is nothing but twice of x square. This was not. Once I have this, the last part would be nothing but 1 minus a whole square by 8 plus 1 plus a whole square by 8. Now we can see that what we have got a quadratic. In the next step, that is nothing but the third step. We can write the same statement as nothing but twice of x square. This will get add up and will become nothing but 6 by 8 a. That will become minus 3 by 2 a x, and the last term will become nothing but 1 plus a square by 4. This is what we are getting. So if I multiply by 4, this will become 8x square minus 6ax plus 1 plus a square. Now they are saying that there are two distinct values of x. This will mean d is greater than 0. If we apply this condition, after this it is very simple. B square minus 4ac will become 36a square minus 4a. From here, if you solve this, what you get is nothing but the D option, that is greater than 8. So it is a simple question, but a little bit understanding of how things are happening should be there. Now let us move towards the last problem type, that is a relative position of two circles. Now, as I told earlier in the part mind map, relative position of the two circles, the question that has been asked in this zone has been very restricted. They have only asked questions which talks about the relative position of circle in circle-circle interaction. Beyond this, finding tangent, etc., those areas they have not went into because that is essentially out of syllabus. So if I look into this, circles can have 5 different locations. If this is happening, the distance between the center should be greater than r1 plus r2. Here it will become equal to r1 plus r2. Here it is smaller than r1 plus r2. In this case, you can see that it will become equal to r1 minus r2. This will be smaller than r1 minus r2. Interestingly, here you will have to write one more condition, that this should not be there. This also needs to be greater than r1 minus r2 because all of the last two conditions are also, d is also smaller than r1 plus r2. So this Third condition is the most important. Lots of questions are based on this specific question. One more thing to be noted here is nothing but the equation of common chord. If I need to find, I can easily find by subtracting the equations of circle. Now in this 2021 question, let us see what they are trying to tell us. So they have given us two equations of circle. Then they are asking us to check these four options. They are talking about location of different kinds of centers with respect to the circle. So for that, we will have to find the value of the center for the first equation. So center comes out to be nothing but 5, 5. And if you figure out the radius, it is root of g square plus f square minus c. So this will become 25 plus 25 minus 41, that comes out to be 3. For the second part also, let us do the same process. This comes out to be 8, 5. And if I figure out the radius, it is going to be nothing but 64 plus 25 minus 80. If I simplify this, it is going to become 89. So this again becomes 3. So if I plot them down, it is very simple to note that the centers and the radius are same. You can see that these are nothing but equal circles with equal radii. This is 5, 5. So if I move 3 distance here, this point will become nothing but 8, 5. That will become center of the another circle. And if I draw that circle of equal radii, that is also 3, it will pass like this. So this is a very peculiar case because of the radii and the center, the location is becoming like this. So what they are saying is, choose the incorrect statement about the two circles. The distance between the two center is the average of the radii. This part is correct. Both the circle centers lie inside the region of one another. Now if you look into this option, it is incorrect because it does not lies in the region. It lies on the circumference. So this option is incorrect and hence the right answer. If I look into this 2021 question again, they have given similar kind of question. They have given again two equations of the circle, but now they are asking the correct statement. This is the difference. Otherwise, it is the same question. Now they have saying that the circles have same center. So you will see that ultimately you will have to find the center and the radius and check their relations. So if I look into this question, I will have to first find the value of center. So center becomes nothing but 5, 5. And radius comes out to be nothing but root of g square. So 25 plus 25 minus 41, again the answer comes out to be 3. For the second one, it comes out to be 11, 5. And again the radius comes out to be 121 plus 25 minus 137. If I add this, and this will become nothing but 20. So 41 plus 5. 41 plus 5 will be 41 plus 5 will be 146. So if I subtract, it again becomes 9. So this again becomes 3. So you can see that if I again plot them, the first circle is like this. The center is at 5, 5. Now you can see that the another one is in the same line. So the y coordinate is not changing. So you can see that this point, if I move 3 units forward, will become nothing but 8, 5. But the center of another circle is not here. It is at 11, 5. So if I move 3 units further here, this will become 11, 5. But the radius is 3. If I draw the circle, it will be of equal radii, but it will touch each other. Now let us check options. Circles have same centers. This is incorrect. Circles have no meeting point, and this is also incorrect. There is one meeting point. Circles have only one meeting point. This statement is correct. So you can see that our C option matches. Now in this 2019 question, it is asking the most peculiar case to solve. In this question, if you draw the circles, what they want is they should intersect at 2 points. This will happen when D lies between R1 minus R2 ka mod and R1 plus R2 ka mod. So you can see that these are the things we'll have to compare. Now in order to do this, I will have to find the value of D first. So D is nothing but distance between the centers. The center of the first one is nothing but 8, 10. And the center of the next one would be nothing but 4, 7. So if I find the difference between them, it will be nothing but 4 square plus 3 square. You can see that the answer comes out to be 5. Now if I want to find the radius of the first part, it is R1 will become nothing but g square plus f square. So 64 plus 100 minus 164 minus r square. If I simplify this, you can see that everything will get cancelled out plus r square. This will become r square come out, this is r only, you know, so it is all balanced out. In this case, if it is clearly given as 6, so now r1 is nothing but r, r2 is nothing but 6. Let us put all of these information in this equation and get the answer. So this will become r minus 6 come on is smaller than nothing but 5, and then r plus 6. This is what we need to solve. So I will have to solve both the parts. If I compare the first one, r minus 6 come mod, it should be smaller than 5. So r minus 6 lies between minus 5 and 5. You can see that r will be between 1 and 11. From the second part, if I do 5 is smaller than r plus 6, r would be greater than 1. So if I take intersection of both of these conditions, what we are getting is r belongs to 1 to 11. Now let us check the options. So you can see that C option clearly matches the description. If I look into this 2021 question, the question says that the minimum distance between any 2 points P1, P2 while considering the point P1 on one circle and P2 on the other circle, the equations of circle are given. So let us plot this out. So you can see that again the center of the first circle lies at 5, 5. And correspondingly, the radius is g square plus f square. So 25 plus 25 minus 41. This comes out to be 3. For the next one, if I do the same calculation, the center will be at nothing but 12, 5. And if I do the calculation, it is going to be 144 plus 25 minus 160. This will again be 3. So you can see that there are circles of equal radii. And if I plot them out, what is happening? Only x coordinate is changing. So what is happening? If I plot this point, this is 5, 5. So in the same line, this point at a distance 3 will become 8, 5. Now you can see that my another circle will be at 12, 5. So this is 12, 5. And it is equal radii 3. If I move 3 units here, this point would be 3 less. So this will become 9, 5. So this is what the situation is. So what they are saying is minimum distance between the 2 points P1 and P2. So minimum distance will happen and corresponding to this. So you can see that this distance between them is nothing but 1 unit. So answer of this question becomes 1. Now let us look into this 2019 question. Question says that the locus of the center of the circle which touches this circle. So let us draw circles touching each other. The center of this is 0, 0. The radius is equal to 1. Let us take the radius as a and the center, because we want to find locus, is h, k. So the condition that we can write in the first part is d is equal to r1 plus r2. Now distance between the center will become h square plus k square. r1 is nothing but r2 is 1. This is what we have got from the first part. Second says that this also touches y-axis in the first quadrant. See, touching y-axis in the first quadrant would mean something like this. That would mean this distance will be equal to a. That essentially means h will be equal to a. Now let us use this to eliminate and get the answer in the third part. If I eliminate, what I am getting is root of h square plus k square is equal to h plus 1 or 1 plus h. And if I square, this is h square plus k square will be equal to h square plus 1 plus 2h. So h square gets cancelled out. K square is nothing but 1 plus 2h. And since we are looking into values in the first quadrant, k will become nothing but plus root of 1 plus 2h. So here you can replace in the fourth step h by x and k by y. So this is what we are getting. And you can see that this matches the description in the A part of the question. Now this next question talks about the idea of two circles intersecting. So if I have two circles that intersect each other, then this common chord is given by s minus s dash. This is what we have. So if I do this, I will have to simplify the equations first, then apply the condition. So x square plus y square plus y 5kx plus 2y plus k is equal to 0. This is first one. Second, we'll have to divide by 2. So x square plus y square plus kx plus 3 by 2y minus 1 by 2 will be equal to 0. So if I subtract both of these, let us see what do we get. So what we get is 5kx plus y by 2 plus k plus 1 by 2 is equal to 0. Now they have said that this equation is already given to you, so we can compare this with this 4x plus 5y minus k. So if I compare this with, in the next step, 4x plus 5y minus k equal to 0, you can see that the ratio of the coefficient needs to be same. So if I compare, my first condition would be 4k by 4 should be equal to 1 by 2 by 5, and that should be equal to k plus 1 by 2 by minus k. So if I take these two conditions, k comes out to be 1 by 10, and if I take these two conditions, minus k by 10 will be equal to k plus 1 by 2. So if I simplify, you can see that we are not getting the same values of k from both the equations, hence no values of k, A becomes the correct answer. Now this 2022 question can be handled using these steps. Question says that there are two circles that touch internally. That would mean there are in this kind of a situation. Now this point where they touch, this point is nothing but alpha comma beta. So if I want to find this, the thing that you should understand is both of the centers of the circle, outer one and inner one, will be in the same line. If I take this radius of the outer circle as nothing but r1, the inner one is nothing but r2. So if I look into this, all the 3 points are in the same line. This is my center 1, this is my center 2, and this is P. This is alpha comma beta. Center 1. Now if you find the radius, you will realize that this radius would be greater for the second circle. So this is nothing but r2, r1. And that for the first, this one is nothing but C1. So this point is nothing but minus 3 comma minus 4. Similarly, the center of the next circle can be written as nothing but root 3 minus 3 comma root 6 minus 4. Now you know that this is R2, and R2 we can also find, so it is nothing but 3 square plus 4 square minus 16, so this will become 3. You can see that this you can also find. If I can somehow find the value of R1, now what are the steps I am going to find? Using this condition that distance is equal to R1 minus R2, I will be able to find the value of k that is given in the question. Once you have figured out that, in the next step, using k, I will find the value of R1. And in the third step, I am going to apply section formula. To get the value of alpha beta. And once I have got the value of alpha beta, I can get my answer. So using these 3 steps, this question can be solved. In this 2024 question says that there are two circles, alpha minus x minus alpha whole square, y minus beta whole square equal to r1 square. And then another circle equation is given. Touch each other externally at a point 6, 6. So let us draw the diagram. So this is one circle. This is another circle. Touching each other externally. Now this point is given as alpha comma beta. Let us also take this radius as r1. This point is given as nothing but 8 comma 15 by 2. Let us take this radius as r2. This is what is given to us. Now if 6 comma 6, they have also given us this point of contact. This is nothing but 6 comma 6. Divide the line joining this in the ratio 2:1. So you have given the ratio of r1 is to r2 as nothing but 2:1. Then the value of alpha plus beta. So you can see that for solving this question, we will have to get the value of alpha beta, and we will also have to get the value of r1 r2. If we have got this, we can solve this expression. In order to get alpha beta, now what you have in the first step is both of this is alpha comma beta. Then the ratio between these two is given as nothing but 2:1. This is 8 comma 15 by 2, and this point is 6 comma 6. You can see that using section formula, from here we can get the value of alpha beta. Once you have got the value of alpha beta, in the second step we can find the distance between alpha comma beta and 6 comma 6 to find the value of R1. In the step 3, I have got the value of R1 by R2 as nothing but 2:1. Using this we can find the value of R2. Now you can see that we have got all the 4 unknowns. We can substitute it here and get the final answer. Moving forward, this 2024 question says that you have been given this first equation and C to be a circle having center at -1, 1. So let us draw the first circle. You can see that the first circle has its center at 1, 1. Radius, if you find it, is root of g square plus f square minus c. The radius will also become 1. And then they are talking about a common chord. So another circle is like this. The center of this is given as nothing but -1, 0. And the radius is given as 2. Now what they are saying is the common chord of this circle intersects y-axis. The y-axis would mean it is 0, y1. The y-axis would mean x is equal to 0 at a point P. This is point P. Find the distance from origin. So square of the distance. Now this is not a very tough question. There are steps into it. First, we have got the equation of one circle. Using the conditions given, we'll find the equation of the another circle, which will become nothing but x plus 1 whole square plus y square is equal to 4. If I simplify, this becomes x square plus y square plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Using these two, in the third step, we can find common chord. The equation of common chord can be figured out by subtracting these two equations, s minus s dash equal to 0. If you subtract these two equations, what I get is minus 4x minus 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. And if I want to find this point, in this I will put 0, y1. This becomes 0. So y1 comes out to be 2. Center of first circle. From here we want to find this distance. So we can apply the distance formula, root of 1 square plus 1 square. So answer comes out to be root 2. Square will become nothing but 2. Square becomes nothing but 2. That is nothing but option C. If I look into this next question, let us write down the steps to solve this question. So they have given two equations of circle. They want the value of lambda so that there are two distinct points of intersection. So this case should arrive. Now for this case, the condition is D should lie between R1 minus R2 mod R1 plus R2. Now for doing this, in the second step, find the value of D. Third, find the value of R1 and R2. Fourth, substitute and simplify. If you follow these steps, you will get the answer. Moving to this next question of 2024, question says that two equations of circle are given. They intersect at exactly two distinct points. So see, they will exactly intersect at two distinct points. And again, the same condition that we wrote earlier will have to apply. D lies between R1 minus R2 mod and R1 plus R2. So apply these two conditions and get the answer. Next 2024 question says the center of the circle passing through. Now this is a good question. So they have given you two equations of circle, one like this whose center is at origin. You can see that the radius of that is given as 0, 3. X square plus y square is equal to 9. Then another circle is touching this internally. So you can see that something like this is happening. So you can see that this point is nothing but 0, 0. This point is nothing but 1, 0. Corresponding to this is h, k. We can see that if I join this point, this will become right angle triangle. So this is nothing but the extremity of one of the diameters. So this is the simplification or geometry that you need to observe. And if you observe, just by observation you will write the value of HS1. In the step 2, if you observe, what you can observe is the radius of the bigger circle will be equal to, the radius of bigger circle will be equal to 2 times radius of the smaller circle, and that is nothing but root of h square plus k square. And if you figure out this value, h square plus k square will become nothing but 9 by 4. So if I multiply 4 on the other side, it comes out to be 9. Now this is a very good question. This question was asked in 2024. Question says that there are 2 circles which are given to us. They intersect at 2 distinct points. The angle between the 2 radii, one of each circle, drawn on the point of intersections of C1 and C2. This is what they are saying. If I take this radii, and if I take this radii, the angle between them is nothing but theta, and they have given the value of sine theta. So this sine theta is nothing but root 63 by 8. From here, if I find the value of cos theta, it will be root of 1 minus sine square theta. And if I do this, it is root of 1 minus 63 by 64, comes out to be 1 by 8. This is first step. If I go into the dimensions of this triangle, you can clearly observe that this distance will be equal to d. Now if you look into the center of the first one is nothing but 0, 0. Radius is 5. The center of the another one is alpha, 0. And the radius is 4. So you can see that this d comes out to be like mod of alpha. And then you have got this as 5, this is 4, and this angle is theta. So in order to find this, I am going to apply cos theta. That is nothing but 5 square plus 4 square minus mod of alpha ka whole square by 2 times 5 into 4. So cos theta we already figured out was nothing but 1 by 8. This comes out to be 25 plus 60 minus alpha square by 8 into 5. This gets cancelled out. 5 comes out to be 41 minus alpha square. Alpha square becomes 36. From here, the alpha value comes out to be plus minus 6. Now, let us again go back to the question. Question says that alpha lies between 5 and 9. So minus 6 is not possible. Alpha needs to be equal to 6. Now we can see that whatever we want to find, this alpha is there. We want to find the value of beta. Beta is nothing but the length of the common chord of C1 and C2. Now in the third step, in order to find the value of beta, that is nothing but length of the chord, we'll have to use some results. So if this is the line joining, so this will divide them in the ratio of R1 is to R2. That would mean this will be in the ratio 5 is to 4. So this length if I want to find, this would be nothing but, alpha is nothing but 6. So 6 into 5 by 9. So this length comes out to be 2, 3. This will be nothing but 10 by 3. Once you have figured out this, now let us do little bit of calculation. So if I flip this idea, this will be nothing but my beta. This is 5, this is 5, and this perpendicular distance is 10 by 3. If this is perpendicular distance 10 by 3, half of this will be equal to beta by 2. And I can apply Pythagoras theorem. So 5 square will be equal to 10 by 3 whole square plus beta by 2 whole square. From here, if I simplify, this is 25 minus 100 by 9 into 4. This will be equal to beta square. You have got the value of beta square. Substitute alpha square, we already know, we will be able to get the answer. I hope you enjoyed this one short video in which we went into the details of different kinds of problems that can be formed and how to solve them. If you like this series, it is highly advisable that you opt for PracBee's revision program, in which we have divided 10 weeks into 10 blocks, and every week we cover one block, and in that you have a target of solving one chapter in a day, and this lecture series is in combination of that revision program. I hope you like the video. It will be great if you can drop a comment and let me know what more we can do for you. So if you find this interesting, it is highly recommendable that you click on the link in the description box and try and join the series as well. See you until next one.